evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing great. For those tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, on the stream, and for those who view my show on TikToks under APCS 895, how's everybody doing tonight? Tonight's live. Wait one. There we go. I had to correct something. I had to put the title for tonight's live. I put it on there, but I guess it's just bear with me. I know we've been having problems with connection issues and stuff like that. Yesterday we had the problem, but I'm going live on Restream. So let me send out the link out to my cousin Jesse. He said he wants to come on, so I want to shoot him a link. There we go. I'll send the link out while I wait for cousin Jesse. I'm going to share this live with other groups that I share with real quick. There's cousin Jesse. There you go, cousin.
What's up, cousin of mine? How you doing today, man?
Alrighty, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm feeling a lot better, man. But I'm still gonna go see the doctor tomorrow, man. Gonna
So
go
you
to the
haven't gone to
ER.
the doctor?
Huh?
You haven't gone seen him?
Nah, man. To take my mom to an appointment today, and I couldn't do it today, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go get dropped off at the ER and see what they tell me, man. That way they can check me for everything. I already know what they're gonna tell me, man. They're gonna try to put me back on metformin, and I don't want that, man.
Cousin, it does help. It just
Metformin
yeah,
gets them to chop off your limbs, man, because it eats you from the inside out.
I've heard of something like that. That's what I'm on right now. Uh,
I don't
but
go
then they got
around with
the shots that they want to give you for if you're diabetic too. Shots in the stomach. So I don't know
insulin.
what the
Yeah,
shots do. If what they do is worse than the metformin, I don't know.
yeah. I'm insulin resistant, so that doesn't do anything for me but make me fat.
Well, there you go.
Uh,
Damn, you do. You got to be careful because there's some medicines that they give you that it makes you retain water, and that's not good.
Hi, Beyond the Box. Welcome
What's
in.
beyond the
No,
box?
cousin, I don't go around with a cotton mouth. I don't go around breathing heavy. I can actually be in the sun. When I was taking metformin, my mouth was always dry. I was always drinking water. I couldn't be out in the sun because I would want to pass out.
Are you sure that wasn't gabapentin?
No, no,
Because
it was,
if you were taking gabapentin, this is side effects of gabapentin.
yeah, but
Uh,
metformin does that too, man, especially if you're out there cutting grass.
yeah, I know gabapentin does that. Were you on gabapentin?
No, no, never been on gabapentin, man. Always been on metformin. How was your
Yeah.
day beyond the box? Did you bring them? Did you bring them beyond the box? Did you bring them? She brought them, cousin. She brought them.
Uh, Tonight, its topic is spiritual infiltration by the enemy.
Hello, Juan Avila. Oh,
That's what we're
really?
talking about tonight. Spiritual infiltration by the enemy, trying to do things that other groups don't do, right?
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry
taking
they're
it to the
gonna.
spiritual aspect tonight.
I'm sorry they're gonna do that to your foot, beyond the box.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that beyond the box.
I know you always do beyond the box. I know you brought them. She brought the Scooby snacks, cousin. Anyway, let's get on with the show. I'm itching and itching. Let's do this. You sharing it to everybody, cousin?
Was it?
Are you sharing it to everybody?
I already did.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm gonna give you the platform for right now, cousin. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, alrighty.
Let you. I'll be here in the sidelines.
So, what was the theme
You
again?
haven't been here for a while, so I'll let you talk about whatever, man.
Oh,
All
okay,
right.
okay. No, beyond the box. It's messed up when they attack your feet like that, man. Uh, I'm I'm feeling stuff on my foot where they cut off my toe. Uh, I'm seeing a little better right now out of my left eye. But I'm still gonna want to go and see what they're gonna tell me. And I know they're gonna try to. I'm thinking it might be cataracts. Maybe they'll give me some good miracle marijuana to for the cataracts for my glaucoma. But pretty sure they're gonna recommend laser surgery. I just want to be able to see just so I can drive. Aloha, Big Island Beach. How you doing? Welcome in. You gotta excuse me. It's just me here right now. My cousin will be back momentarily. Yes, I know. Beyond the bus, we just gotta push through. I mean, never in my wildest dreams did I ever see myself with just 9 toes. But ish happens. I know I've been away for a while. I'm glad to be back. I'm really all about getting into tonight's discussion. I'm hoping people come in and we can talk about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go as soon as I get up in the morning. I'm gonna go and get dropped off at the ER and let them take a look under the hood. Simón Juan, una yesca sin semillas. What's up, Lerny? Welcome back, man. Welcome in. Cousin is away momentarily, but I'm here. If you have anything you want to talk about, we can talk about it until he comes back. He said I could talk about whatever. I was telling people the other day, Juan, that Mexican wrestler called it iguana. He's got a iguana that, and the name is Yeska, and I told him it's just another name for weed. Yeah, I know. That's harsh too, beyond the box, because we need our. our legs and toes and stuff, man. If I wasn't missing a toe right now, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be out somewhere working up north. Maybe I used to being over there working hard. I mean, we were doing 7 and 7. Didn't have nothing, no time for nothing but work and sleep. That was it. 7 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So yeah, we worked Monday through Sunday. I was feeding that I was feeding that the Skinwalker pizza and chicken and whatnot. Girl, my kung fu has suffered ever since this happened to me. Look at that. Oh yeah. I cannot explode my power from my big toe through my body and out my knuckle. I did go in and got G'd up today. They did my hair. They did my hair. What's left of it, but they did it. Need to be careful beyond the box because you're doing that without a net. Girl, I almost fell out that window back there. Hey man, there's people out there that like that missing toe stuff, man. %, discount learning. Ugh. Yeah, I need to go and see why my damn vertigo was acting up as well, girl. I was messed up the whole last week leading up to the weekend. I was messed up real bad, man. Couldn't even get out of bed without falling down and shit. I never fell down drunk. Girl, all I wanted for Christmas was a pair of ninja tabby boots. I can't wear them. I ain't got no right toe. The ninja boot ain't gonna fit right. Oh, you put out a life alert, cousin? That's right, Juan. We've been doing that since we were kids, man. We andábamos en las labores and we were out there in the field every day, man. You don't even know how bad it is beyond the box to buy a pair of Stacy Adams, and then the next thing you know, they're creased because you don't have a big toe. Primo, they won't give you one shit. Girl, like I said, I almost fell out that window back there. If that couch hadn't been there, I would have fell back first through that window. I landed sitting down on that couch. Nothing I could do. I couldn't stay standing. Everything was spinning. I don't know if Abe's okay, but he said he's back in a little bit. If he fell and he can't get up, Rebel will help him to the nearest couch for a Scooby snack. Well, at least you have a brand new one. Mine are all creased on the right foot where that big toe is missing because they cut it completely off. Gave myself a Mexican nickname, El 19. 19. Now, yeah, it's been a pretty good day. I mean, it was hot, but it was okay. At least it ain't storming like it is in Mexico right now. Good luck with that, beyond the box. So you only have your left leg beyond the box. How did you do that, Lerny? How does half of the inside of your shoe missing unless you have a dog that's been eating them? I don't go shoe shopping either, Lerny. I get mine online, man. That's where I buy my vinyls from. I go on Amazon and buy myself some vinyls and get them delivered. You can't find them here in Fort Worth. I mean, you can order them off of Walmart, but they're not the same. I like the ones with the thick sole at the bottom. Tell me about it, man. I had a fan in my room, man, an oscillating fan, and I fell asleep with it on one day, and next morning I woke up, it died, man. I barely replaced the. I took off the head of it and put another head on there, so it's working right now. It was a white fan, but now it's a black and white fan because the head that I found was black, so I call it the yin yang fan now. Hello, Monica Devious. Welcome in. How are you doing? I hope your day was well. Well, I try to stay up, but uh, not the night owl I once was when I first started doing the show with my cousin. I had real bad insomnia, so I couldn't sleep. But now, after like an hour or two of being on here, I get sleepy. Yes, one of my most loyal fans died, Bernie. He went down swinging. Yeah, I got it. So I got my temperature set at 75, Monica. I think it's hot, but my mom says it's really, really cold in here. How you doing, Monica? I'm back. Girl, I'm like a rash you just can't get rid of. I keep coming back. Yeah. So yeah, I've been pretty busy even though I've been sick. I'm only lacking like two bolts to finish my other truck. They go on the back of the transmission, but I haven't been able to see to get down there and put them on. Wow, you keep it frosty in there beyond the box. That's having a blanket uh, temperature. Yeah, it's been hot in my room too. Like I said, Monica, my fan died, and man, I've been perspiring all night. I had to get up in the middle of the night and take a shower. Well, I have a what do they call those? The industrial unit, Monica. It's an old one, but it's industrial and it keeps it pretty fresh in here. I mean, if I wouldn't use it, but probably my light bill wouldn't be as high as it is. But Yeah, I don't like to be in the heat. Yeah, beyond the box. The down comforter I had was I had to get it and put it away because it was just too hot for the temperature that was in this house. Oh, you have split units? Oh no, my air conditioning unit is still good, Monica. It works. No, Abe's not asleep, man. You don't hear him punching buttons. He's listening to everything we're saying. He just stepped out for a bit. He said he had something to do. Told me I could talk about anything, so I'm talking about everything and nothing at the same time, guys. Well, it was 69. No, you need that feather comforter beyond the box. That or someone to share body heat with. Yeah, I can't sleep unless the air is circulating, Monica. I gotta have a fan. I have a fan running all year round. I can't. He's in the background. You don't hear him pushing buttons, Monica. He's here. He just stepped out. He's listening to everything we're saying.
Yeah, I'm right here.
You just trying to get my weather to your house beyond the box. I don't see that happening. You're moving out that way. Oh, you coming forward beyond the box? Wow, all right then. It's too quiet learning. If I don't have a fan running and the noise from that fan is too quiet, I can't sleep because I hear everything that's going on in the yard. Be careful when you move to Fort Worth beyond the box. It's not a friendly place to live. You have to know where you're at all times. I sent Abe and Duendita a video that I saw on the internet talking about Fort Worth. That's why it's called Murder Word. What goes on in my yard? Nothing goes on in my yard, Monica, unless I want it to go on in my yard. Nothing goes on in my yard. As a matter of fact, I went and cut the alley a little while ago. I took my weed out and cut down all that grass in the back, all the way down to where you can't see none. I don't like messy yards, Monica. My yard is cut and it's clean. There's no trash or nothing. It's been I got made my lines real crisp on my lawn, on my neighbor's lawn, in my backyard. I don't like a messy lawn. It's a pet peeve. I'm like the one of those old men I used to make fun of. Hey, you young whippersnappers, stay off of my lawn. Oh yeah, at night, Monica, if I don't have a video playing or I mean a movie or the fan noise, I hear every little noise that goes on outside the yard in my brother's yard next door, out front by my pickups. So yeah, I don't like to not have any noise because then I really can't sleep because I'm on alert. I can hear the smallest sounds that keep me awake. That's why I need noise to help me fall asleep. Background noise. Welcome back, cousin.
I've been here all this time because I'm just, what I've been doing on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
phone.
yeah. Monica said
So
hi.
I was trying to get you to stay with to see if you could share some. I mean, I know you haven't talked to people, so I'm letting you speak. I was trying to see if you could share things dealing with the spiritual infiltration of the enemy. Things that you can remember how maybe your path might have changed a certain way because of something that might have happened to you while you were growing up or something that you witnessed. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring into
Okay.
the spiritual encrypted encounters is how people can get affected spiritually. And it happens to everybody, no matter if you're a reborn Christian or not. Somewhere in your life, you've been through something. You either you something happened to you or you did something, right? That you repent for your sins and ask God for forgiveness because it was actually you. It was you doing it, but it was something else driving the force to make you do that, which is a form of spiritual bondage where the unseen enemy infiltrates and infiltrates your not in your life through negative seeds by people that get placed in your life uh, that brings negativity towards you to affect you in a negative way. I know you've been
Okay.
through it because you had mentioned a story about a man that gave in your life. You went through hell with this man.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Let me get.
I'm gonna let you share something with the viewers here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters
Yeah, bro.
of this situations or anything you can remember that you went through that made your life a certain way, but then now that you're older, you're trying to get you're getting close to the Jesus Christ, and you're trying to do the right thing. So I'll let you elaborate
Well,
elaborate on that with the viewers.
I think the first thing that I can remember where I tried to do something good and it turned to bad. I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. We were living at the McGee Ranch, and I saw this little kitten, man, and I grabbed it and I was playing with the kitten, and then my brother Joe, he threw it in the outhouse, and we rescued it, and I was trying to keep it away from it. I threw it across the canal, and a damn truck ran it over, man.
Oh
So
wow!
yeah, I was trying to do something good, and something evil came from that, man. It killed the little kitten, man. They ran over it.
So where was it? What was his drug? Was it a main road or a dirt road?
No, no, he was driving on the head of the canal. You know how it's got a head on the side
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they can get off and work on the canal if they need to. The
yeah.
ranch was over here, and then there was a canal, and then there was a little road where they drove up and down to be able to activate the water so that they could irrigate. So I was trying to keep it away from my brother, man, because he had already thrown it down into the crapper, and I threw it across the canal, and it landed pretty good. And then I looked to the left, and I hadn't seen the truck coming, and it ran it over, man, and it killed the kitten, and that traumatized me, man, because I saw it die. Um, then after that, man, I saw my.
So what color was a kitten that you remember?
It was white with yellow patches. It had green eyes, man. It was a pretty little kitten, man. Yeah, I can't remember it was male or female. I just remember that it took me a long time to rescue it from the outhouse because it was really, really deep, and I stuck, I think, a long asadón in there, and made it hold on to the thing, and I pulled it up, and then Joe was trying to get it again, and I said, "You can't have it," and I ran to the edge of the canal, and I threw it across the canal, and then when I looked to the left, it was too late. The truck just came and ran over it and killed it, man. I didn't see the truck coming.
So what was Joe trying to do to the cat?
He was trying to drown it in crap, man. He threw it in the outhouse, man.
Wow,
No, Joe's been killing cats since he was little, dude. I remember one time he got this
he
cat.
would kill cats.
Huh?
He was killing cats.
Yeah, at a young age, man. I remember he was like 3 and he cornered a little kitten in between the house and some hedges, and then he killed it with a big rock. He crushed its skull, man.
So, what do you think about that, man? I mean, three
I've
years
never.
old. What made him or drove him to do that? Was it something that y'all were witnessing as kids happening that made him have that kind of hatred and anger to kill a cat?
Well,
What do you think?
we were always watching. And I'm gonna say this, man, because he's gone now, and Lord rest his soul. But we would always see domestic violence, man. My dad
Domestic
was
violence.
my dad was not a good guy, man.
So domestic violence, right there. But what he's saying, that's a spiritual opening. That's why I named it spiritual infiltration by the enemy. So go ahead, cousin.
So yeah, we would. My dad was a very jealous individual, man, and he was always accusing my mom of cheating on him, and he'd get in his head, and he would do what jealous people do, man. He would domestic violence her, and we were witnessing all of this, man. But like I said, it never affected me to the point that I wanted to kill something. I would see it, and like I said, he was killing cats when he was little, man. And that cat, he tried to drown it in crap, and I tried to save it. I tried to throw it across away from him, and it
So
got killed.
when you were seeing him do that, did you see a certain demeanor in his face?
Yeah,
Like
his face,
something
his
wasn't
face.
right with him?
He was smiling when he did it, man. He was smiling when he did it, man. I remember the look on his face. He was smiling.
So you think it's possible that maybe he had a negative attachment on him
Oh, he had more than a negative attachment, man. Because
at the age of
the
3?
yeah, what's up, the Wolf Den? How you doing? Yeah, man. And like I said, he when he killed that cat with that rock, man, he was smiling. I still remember his face. He had a big old smile on his face. I mean, since he was little, he was always a bad guy, man. He hasn't changed his whole life. Hello, Joel Burgess. Well, Monica, he's been to prison. He's a two-time loser. He's been to prison twice already.
For
This
how
time
many
he
years?
got out. Well, he did I think four the first time, and I think three the second time. And he's been out for 20 something years already, and hasn't gone back.
So
So,
at the age of 3, how
hello,
many
you.
cats do you remember he killed?
Yeah, I
You
remember
know
him
one.
killing. That I know of, I've seen him kill two cats.
So one he tried to drown, but he didn't kill that one. The 2 cats that he killed, what did he do to them?
Well, one he beamed it with a rock and crushed its skull because it was a big rock, and then the second one he dragged it behind his car.
How old was he then?
He stole a golf cart at age 14, and he was 13. 13. No, 12, because I'm 2 years older than him. And he stole a golf cart, and he got that cat, and he tied it up and dragged it behind the golf cart. Hello,
But
Yusuf.
the,
How you doing?
when he was 3 years old, he tried to drown a cat. Did
Uh-huh.
you witness him kill any cats, any dogs at the age of 3?
No, just that one that he hit with the rock. And
How old,
he was
how old
three.
was he then? He was
He
3,
was three. Yeah.
and you literally seen him kill it, and there was blood everywhere.
Yeah, there was blood, man. There was a lot of blood. That damn cat was jerking and shit, man. Excuse my language, but yeah.
And this happened in Fort Worth.
No, it happened in Raymondville, man. We were living at the McGee. No, yeah, it was Fort Worth. Tried to drown the cat in Raymondville, and then he killed that cat next door to my uncle's house here in Fort Worth. And my grandma told him, "Así como matas, vas a ser matado." She told him like that. The way you kill, that's how you're gonna get killed. So I'm waiting for somebody to bash his head in.
So he had uh unclean spirits on him, or what did he else did he witness besides domestic violence? Was he ever part of what you went through, dealing with the paleros?
No, he's never been part of that, man. He was always just trying to be a gangster.
I mean,
You
for him
know,
to have that much hatred in him, he had to witness something, or but you said that you witnessed a lot of violence, so
Yes, a lot of
he
violence,
picked
man.
it
My
up on
dad.
that. In which, what basically what I'm saying is, when there's domestic violence, is arguing, there's other forces that are working, that are infiltrating, because if they got the head of the household bonded, that they want to attack every other family member, and that's why maybe you felt a certain way, he felt a certain way, because unclean spirits was telling him to do that because he had control over him. In
He's
which
good.
some people
That
don't know that they have the negative attachments. When all these things are happening, they think it's okay to
cousin.
do these things.
That's the same brother that I told you I saw in the kitchen in Chicago that wanted me to go in the basement. Same brother, man. That he wanted me to go play in the basement, and I said yeah, and I let him go in front of me, and I went back to the living room, and he was there. Same brother, man.
So Beyond the Box says they say killers start out killing animals. That's not good.
But yeah, and then you see, I saw my dad hang himself, and that left me traumatized for a couple of years, man. Anytime that he would leave, I thought he was never coming back, man.
So do you think it's possible that other things were affecting your dad beside him being a jealous person? Because he was dabbling as a palero already, in which he
My
was
my
killing
dad
animals.
my dad used to meditate in a dark room by himself, man.
There you go. So
And he taught me how
he
to
was
do
going
that.
into
He
other
taught me how,
things, into other things that was not good. That's
yeah,
why he was allowing it, since he was the head of the household. So it just didn't affect him; it was affecting every family member of that household.
like I said, he taught me how to do that, man, and infuse chakra and whatnot, man. So you could circulate your chi. He taught me how to do all that, man. I didn't know what he was teaching me for, but he taught me how to do that, and now I know what he was teaching me. And like I said, man, I think when we lived in Chicago, that we had that apartment. I think he did something with me in a ritual. I don't remember, but he saw Satan, and I think that's why my life has been the way it is, man. Because I've been through a lot of stuff, man, that normal people should not go through, man. Like I said, man, I
Yeah,
don't know what.
y'all were little. I remember when we were kids. I mean, yeah, we were playing still, but I mean, y'all have already been through a lot at a very young age, because,
Yeah,
like you said, your father was a jealous man, and I remember the domestic violence. You know, I mean, you're 2 years older than me, or 1 year older than me, I believe.
yeah, I'm a year older than you, cousin.
So I remember the things that would happen. Um, but that's what we're talking about this tonight: spiritual infiltration by the enemy.
I can't remember, man, how many times I remember getting on a Greyhound bus, man, and winding back up in Raymondville, man, and I was afraid of those big ass roaches in Raymondville, man, and I remember screaming my head off because I would see him in the street, and my mom would tell me, "Cállate, pendejo, camínale." We get out the bus at 2 or 3 in the morning, man. I'm over screaming my fucking head off, man, because I see the roach, and we would always wind up at Grandpa's house, man. Then we'd be there about a month or so, and then my dad would show up.
Hmm. And that I think he had like was it a Chevy or an Impala? The car, a
He had
Chevy, I
a
think.
he had a 1968 Chevelle.
Chevelle, yeah, I
It was.
remember it.
I remember it was yellow with a black top. I remember Tio Lionel was starting to date Tia Maggie. I remember my dad and Grandpa Joe talking to that old man on the corner, her dad. I remember Tio Lionel was young too, man. He was young. But yeah, like I said, I saw him hang himself, and I got them to cut him down.
I'll
And
be I'll
then,
be right back. I'll be right back, cousin. Continue to talk uh, to the viewers.
all right, man. And like I said, most of my life when I was a kid, man, I just it was kind of messed up. Like I said, I saw my dad hang himself. Then we went to Chicago, and I saw the double ganger, my brother double ganger. We came back to Texas, and then we went to somehow we wound up in Matamoros, Mexico, and that's when I seen that hand with no arm. See, that's a nice ride you got there, Juan. And like I said, I saw that hand with no arm, and I wound up staying with the witchcraft guy, the blind the blind brujo, and got that year missing from my life because I don't know what he did to me while we were gone. I just know he picked me up, and I know he brought me back. That's the only thing I remember. Yeah, my life wasn't pretty beyond the box. It wasn't pretty. I mean, when I look back at my life, I remember my dad leaving us with a lot of people. Uh, I saw that hand in the window, and then he moved us up into the mountains. And I had my Lechusa encounter. Then by the time I came back to the States, I spoke no English. I showed up with all dressed up and came back in shorts without a shirt, no shoes. I
But
was learning. I'm gonna say about 7. Learning when I stayed with that guy. I was about 7. You gonna say something, cousin?
yeah, no, basically what I'm trying to say, since we're talking about the spiritual protection by the enemy, is that sometimes when you see things happen around you or things happen to you, that you think it's okay because it's people that you love that's there for you, and you're thinking that they're supposed to guide us a certain way, so their wrongs might be okay to us, in which it can affect us, which is called negative seeds that are being planted, right?
Well, yeah,
If they're
cousin.
teaching us wrong and to them it's okay, then we're thinking it's okay. But that's why the enemy infiltrates, using people to show us certain things or come at us a certain way, planting negative seeds.
Yeah, it's
So,
like I said, cousin. When I was a teenager, man, if my dad didn't beat me, I thought he didn't love me, man, because he used to beat me every day.
yeah.
He used to beat me every day, and then as I started getting older, I'm like, why didn't he just let the state pick us up? It was like he told himself, if I'm the only one that can abuse him, nobody else is gonna abuse him but me. And sure, dude, he
I
would hit
think
us like he
the
was
reason
grown
he
man.
did that, cousin, is because he wanted, a person that's abusive, right? Domestic
Well,
violence.
well, he
What
raised
they want
he,
is full control and continue to do the things that they do because they don't want to change. So they want to
well,
continue to be in the abusive relationship, and they use fear factor, to scare their significant other, so they can be living their life in fear, because that's what they're about, right?
well,
So
let me
when you can't get your way anymore, then you have to take it out on somebody else.
let me tell you what actually happened, cousin. My dad raised us the way my grandfather raised him. My grandfather, man, my dad was in his 30s. My grandfather would come to the house and bitch slap my father around, man. He'd come to my father's house and bitch slap him, dude. I remember one night that my dad had enough. The old man hit him and he grabbed his hands and he told him, "This is the last time you hit me, old man." And my grandfather said, "Oh, look, Mijo's huevos finally came down." Then he reached his hand in his pocket and pulled out his knife. Let me cut him off. And he chased him through the fucking apartment, man. My dad was 30, man. And you know what it does to a kid to see your father running from your grandfather going, "No, pa, no, pa, no, pa." Dude, I got a fear of my grandfather, man, and I can honestly tell you, cousin, he's the only man I ever feared, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're skipping the part where that I'm not even gonna cuss him out. That Indian man that raised my grandmother, that he
Here you
used to
go.
lock me, that he used to lock me in closets, man.
Yusuf Mizzle says they also live in fear. Yes, a fear of abandonment. They'll dramatize others because in their minds they think maybe it'll make you remember them fondly or not.
And that's
So
the thing right there, Missile. That old man that used to lock me in the closet, man. Well, I'm gonna say I have a hate for that man that it knows no ends. The stuff that he did to me when I was a kid, man. When I came back from South Texas in 89, that old man was still alive. And I was just waiting for him to do or say something, anything that I did not agree with, and I was just gonna beat the crap out of him. But then he died. I still have that hatred.
negative seeds.
Yep, yep.
That's what I said forgiveness is part of love that you have to forgive because that's how the enemy infiltrates the our bloodline, in which it becomes generational curses because the enemy have the spiritual opening to attack at any given time because we have unforgiveness.
So yeah, I go by the cemetery almost every Sunday, dude. And my uncle didn't even love him either, man. They buried him. He doesn't even have a gravestone, man. So I know he's up to no good somewhere. But yeah, that man was hard on us, man. He didn't touch my uncle's kids. Only my father's. Only us, man. He would only always be messing with us, man. Always, man. Just cruel stuff, man.
So basically, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm doing the show. Basically, you're around a lot of negative stuff, more negative than positive. It was that's the only thing that you were learning because it was affecting everybody. Your father, your father's father, your brother, and you also. It was affecting you a certain way also.
Oh yeah, man. I remember when I turned 14, man. I got my first gun, and I almost killed a sucker right there on the side of theater, man. Back in 1984, and I chased him all the way back inside the theater, man, and he was screaming like a little, you know what, man? Oh, he's trying to kill me! He's trying to kill me! And I'm like, bring your ass outside, puto. You said you wanted it. You brought down the thunder. Let's do this. And luckily, that lady that ran that theater, man, she already knew me because I was a regular, man. I go every
Where was
Monday.
it?
Huh? It was
Which
called
the
the It was called the ISIS Theater here in Fort Worth, man. It was on Main Street. And yeah, she told me I done call it out, Jesse. Just leave. So I took off, man. But yeah, that dude, he had to go home and change his fucking toners, man, because I took 3 shots at that son of a bitch, man. He lucky I missed, dude. I wanted to end him so bad, man. Back then,
you get to the point where you try to do to the guy, being around so much negativity. When is it when you felt in your life that you started changing for the worse? What I mean by that is all the things that you were seeing. When is it that you felt that within yourself that you were basically evil in some kind of way because of what was around you, that it was making you feel that way? What
uh, I'm
age
gonna
was it?
I'm gonna say it was 15, man, because at 15 I was already a full-fledged gang member, man. I'd been a gang member for 3 years, and I went around just doing grown-up stuff, man. Stuff that I had no right to be doing, but I was doing it, man. I was out there drinking, smoking, getting wasted, man, getting into gang fights, all that stuff, man. I was just out there hurting people, man. That's all I wanted to do was hurt
So by
people.
then you wasn't believing in God in any kind of way, shape, or form because the only thing you knew was negativity.
All I
What,
believe,
that's
man.
what I'm trying to say. When is it in your life when you were growing up, what you're witnessing, that you felt that you had a
Yep.
black heart in some kind of way, that you didn't care
The
about
truth.
nothing?
15. At 15, all I
15, but
cared, all I believed in, man, that was what these could do and what I could do. That's all I believed in, man. I didn't believe in anything, dude. And I went around just, they asked me, what color is your cola? And the answer was black. Mi cola es negro. That was the answer that they wanted. That's the answer I gave. And yeah, man, I pretty much, it was like that year that I was hooked on crack, man. I told you when I was hooked on crack back in my 20s, man, they'd ask me my name, and I always tell them I'm the angel of death. I went around just basically hurting people, man, hurting people real bad, breaking ribs, man, cutting them in the neck with swords, all kinds of stuff, man. I did all kinds of stuff, man. I was just lost, man. And it was when finally when I got locked up, then I realized, man, that once you lose your freedom, man, that's it. Once you lose your freedom, you lose everything. And I started talking to God in my own head, man, and I made a turn for the better, dude. The first time I went to that I got locked up in '97 because I had done all kinds of crap, man, and never got arrested. The first time I got arrested was in '97, man, and that was an
here's
eye
a message
opening
for here.
experience.
Cousin Jamie says, disembodied spirits not created by Yahweh, by Jesus, and roaming the earth as vagabonds seeking what you're talking about, Jamie Chapet, is
The
the DDN,
disembodied demonic
disembodied
demon.
demonic devil, which are unclean spirits, and which are demonic of nature because the Watchers, that's what they became when they went against God, was demonic. So, but they're not demons; they're the offspring of the Watchers, in which we know them as unclean spirits, and some people call them demons, but they're no more as unclean spirit or disembodied spirits. They cannot go to heaven or hell, and they roam earth, and they're always trying to cause chaos and havoc, division, infiltrate homes by bonding the people in charge, and then affect the whole family. That's what they do. That's what we see a lot here in the crypto community. When people that go venture out and do investigations out in the woods, you run into this DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. That's why I name them because that's what they are.
But like I was saying, cousin, by the time that I met you back when I started to live with you, dude, my heart was so black, man, and I had so much anger at the world that I just wanted to destroy the world and everybody in it, man. And you saw how I carried myself when we would go to school. You saw all the fights I had, man, and you saw how I was living, man. I was already smoking marijuana, man. I was drinking beer, liquor, smoking cigarettes, man. I was doing it all, bro. And you know what? It's all caught up to me, man. My body is 100% damaged, man. My lungs thank me, man, every day that I quit smoking. So yeah, man. My life has been very, very. I'm gonna say toxic because that's what it was. Uh, I think what probably made me stop a little bit, man, and look was when my daughter was born, man. I quit smoking marijuana when she was born, and I haven't touched it since, man. So yeah, man. After that, like I said, once I got locked up, I started hanging out with the guys that were in the county, and we would read Bibles and whatnot, man. And then when I got locked up the second time, I told God that if He let me out, I would change my life around, and I've kept my word, man. Kept my word. You can't lie to God, man. He's not only are you lying to yourself, but you're lying to God, and He already knows. He already knows, man.
So you've been through a lot to understand the balance of good and evil, just like I have
Well,
been through it to understand the balance, and I know what it takes to overcome the other side of the balance, and that's placing Jesus Christ first as my Lord and Savior, and tie bind and rebuking through Him. We have to do everything through Him, but through a love foundation, maintaining a love foundation.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm not even mentioning it, man. You know, the time that I went around messing around with Santeria, or the years I went around messing around doing Palo Mayumbe. You know, those were all spirits, man. That's why when I started doing Palo Mayumbe, that we would go to the ceremonies, they would put ash and white paint on us, man, so that the spirits wouldn't take possession of us. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my life in a nutshell, man.
takes to learn. He said, "All good, but you can't stop flooding."
He's talking to Jamie Chippett.
I don't know what he's talking about. Is when you come in, Jimmy Chipit, talk to us in a language that we can understand, because you're coming in here like if you're copying things off of Google and just placing it on here. It's not that it's coming out of your mouth, because that's what I'm seeing here. It's not making sense of what you're saying.
Yep, more like a big break box beyond the box. You got a yeast infection, Holmes?
When I see that kind of stuff, that a person is not making no sense, that's letting me know that they have a negative attachment on them, and they're here to interrupt the life feed, because he keeps on saying things that just don't make no sense. And there he goes again. He's not writing that fast. He's copying stuff and pissing on here. So I figure it's probably the corn on the cob coming in here trying to interrupt. So I'm not going to put anything to say. What I'm going to do, if you're going to talk to us normal, I'm going to boot you out of the stream, because you just ain't making no sense of what you're saying. You keep on talking about Jacob. What Jacob from Children of the Corn? That's what you're saying, or what was the other one? Malachi. You're just not making no sense what you're saying in the chat. And to me, no, brother, that's not the Holy Spirit. It seems like you're just putting stuff on there too fast. You copying and pasting. That's what you're doing. Saying the Holy Spirit is on them now
I hope you
and
don't
have
start
oil
talking in tongues, man.
and want to help you. Okay, yeah,
No, I
I
think
know.
there's a R in there somewhere. Jamie, H you were saying, or you mean R? You were saying? Oh, no, no, yeah, he's got plenty of sugar in the tank. All right, learning.
Yeah, that's corn on the cob right there, man. But one of the people that's affiliated with them, corn oil. You got corn oil in the tank. It's not holy oil. It's corn oil. And saying that, you done just came here interrupted. Got nothing else better to do, so you're out of here, bro. Again,
Se vas y me dejas.
there you go. Got rid of the troll. That's what I'm talking about, man. They come in here and try to interrupt my life with some nonsense. I'm reading the stuff and it's just not making no sense, because they're copying and pasting. That's all he's
Yes,
doing. He's not
homie.
making no sense of what he's saying.
We had a troll, homie. He's gone now.
I booted him out.
Le llegó el mariachi, homie. You know what I mean by le llegó el mariachi? Le llegó el tan tan.
So I'm gonna go into Google now, into YouTube, and boot him out there too.
So yeah, man. Like I said, I've seen a lot of the negative side of the balance, cousin. Uh, and then right now, I'm living healthy and trying to be a good Christian, man. There's a A in front of the D, Monica. It's adios, not idios. But don't get me to spelling. I missed many recesses because I did not know how to spell.
I got them off. I got rid of them off of YouTube also. You see, man, when the topic is good and we're talking about this, there's always somebody from the roast kind trying to interrupt. We're not even going to bring them up because they ain't worth my time. So we're going to continue. Move on with the show. I
Brianna
was trying to
Boxer
give the
is still
person a
here.
chance to speak normal. They kept on just pasting stuff, so I booted them out. We got time
I
for that.
got, I gotta take a little break, cousin. I'll be right back. Oh, woo, these legs are gone.
No, I booted him out from here, and I booted him out from YouTube. He's gone. That's one thing that could bring is the spiritual aspect of things, because I've been there. I know about the balance. I know between good, the things, the forces of good and evil. So I know how it feels when you're caught up in things of that nature. That's why I wanted a cousin Jesse to open up so we can see spiritually what he was going through. I wish where what I'm trying to show you is that the enemy infiltrates plants negative seeds while we're growing, that it affects us and it forms or changes our path in life. Because if there's more negativity happening than any kind of love, then the only thing that we're going to know is negativity, right? Or evil of what we're seeing. But eventually, it's about what's within us, how our heart feels, how we want to be as a person, that we make the change of how we want to be, not that we're going to let somebody run our lives through fear mongering, right? That we're eventually going to make a spiritual stance or physical stance against somebody that's coming up against us in a negative way. There's always somebody's trying to come and interrupt when we're doing a good live feed, man. That's why I booted them out. There's no, that's what those people do. All they do is copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste because they got nothing else to do, or they already got it. They already got all these things, and all they got to do is just copy or and paste, copy and paste. You know, things that they already have written, how they troll people, mess with people. So I said, talk to me normal. They couldn't talk to me normal because they're troll accounts. That's what they do. Can relate love with just because my mom, regardless of what she did, ended up having a better relationship a few years after she passed. Well, that's good. She did. So while we were really interrupted by the troll, uh, that had nothing to say. It was just trying to cause disruption in here. Uh, What do you think about those kind of people that just jump in and that's all they do? Do you think there's a negative seed planted there in them?
There's definitely a negative seed, man, because they just want to come in here and talk about anything other than what we're talking about, man, and they get off on getting just doing that, man. And I don't understand why they keep coming in here, man. We're not even messing with them, dude. It's just it makes me angry, dude. But I know that I have to forgive them, man. And like I told you, I think the last time I was on. From now on, every time they come in here, I'm just gonna tell them, God bless you, and I hope you find the help you need.
Well, I think it might have been my fault because yesterday I was just saying all kinds of things. So maybe that's why they're here. They're pissed off at what I said, in which I was speaking in truth. You know, I mean, what's the best advice that I can give somebody? Grow up, support your child, and pay child support. I mean, what's wrong with that? With that advice, grow up,
Yeah, I don't understand this
start
because
working, and pay child support. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've been
It's,
reading all the stuff from PRT, man, and these jokers over here say that you can't say nothing without providing proof, but they can say whatever they want, and there's no proof that needs to be said. Apparently, it's coming. It's been coming for about what 2 years since I've been here. It still hasn't gotten here yet. You got it on the back of a turtle. But yeah, man, all I can say is God bless you, and may you find the help that you need because you need help. Maybe Joseph can help you.
I mean, your wife is already carrying the full load, raising your children because you're worthless. I mean, that's just the truth. But then you want to focus on everybody else, but you're the one that's deadbeat dad, or I can't even call you dad. You're just a deadbeat, and then you want to act victim, like people are doing something to you, which
It was
that's part of spiritual. That's part of spiritual infiltration by the enemy. By the way,
yeah, so I think the
it's
years
one of the enemy.
were 71 to 72, man, because my brother Joe was born in 1970 and my little brother was born in 1972 and he was born in Chicago. So it had to be between 71 and 72 when we were out there in Chicago, man. We're not feeding into it, just man. So that's why I told them, God bless them, and I hope they find the help they need.
And me, I just speak in truth. I mean, I'm speaking the truth when I'm telling him, start working, start paying your child support, and stop being the deadbeat dad. Deadbeat. I'm not gonna call him dad because he don't deserve that title. Just a deadbeat. Do something responsible for your life. But anyway, let's continue with the spiritual infiltration by the enemy.
You know what,
That's what
cousin?
that's
I
what
was
they
in
try to
the,
do, infiltrate all the
I,
time.
I was in the restroom right now, man, and I was thinking back on my life, man. You know, I can actually tell you the first time I got possessed by one of these things that it found a spiritual opening, man. I was we were living in Mexico. Hello, Deborah Northworthy, how you doing? Uh, I think I was 5 years old, and I used to. If you remember, man, when I was a kid, I had a problem with my eye would get stuck when I would go to sleep. It would get all that goose on it. And I remember I was taking a nap, man, and my dad's cousin came and said they're beating up my daughter down the street. And I woke up and I ran out there, man, and my eye was stuck. And I told him to quit hitting my cousin. And then the first thing, and this is how I learned my other lesson too, man. You never tell nobody where it hurts. I told him, just don't hit me in this eye. And that's the first place he hit me, man. And I got possessed, dude, because I blacked out. When I woke up, there was just bodies everywhere, man. I beat up like 6 or 7 little kids my age, man. And that was the first time I got possessed. Because I was angry that he hit me in my eye. That's where
And
that did.
you already had anger in you.
Yeah. So that's the
So
first time I remember getting possessed, man. because that was the first time I ever fought in the street.
And you
And
don't
when
remember nothing.
I blacked out, and when I woke up, there was just bodies and carnage, man. And I know I was still possessed when it was over because I remember seeing it through seeing, but not being able to stop. I went behind some houses and I started eating grass.
Eating grass.
Eating
Wow.
grass.
So you're eating grass. That's already telling you it's a herd.
Yep.
So yeah.
And like I said, I could see myself doing it, but I couldn't make myself stop because it had me. And like I said, after I beat all those people up, I ran away and I went behind these houses and I sat down and I was eating grass. I was about 5 or 6 beyond the box. Yeah, we were living in Colonia La Gaviota in Matamoros. But yeah, man, like I said, I can remember when I got first possessed because that's the first street fight I ever had, man. And I was already angry at the world. But the fact that I was eating grass afterward, that has to say that I was.
Texas Alarm said, "Were you got a lot stronger, faster as well, Jesse? You don't remember? He blacked out.
I
It was
remember
just
him hitting me.
carnage that was left behind.
I remember he hit me in my eye that was closed, and that's the last thing I felt. And when I woke up, there was just bodies everywhere, man. And I'm behind the house eating grass.
Wow.
I
So
tell
who
you
found
what,
you? Who
huh?
found you?
My brother Joe. I'll tell you what. After that, them kids, they became my friends, man. They didn't want no more. They didn't want no more from me, man. They didn't want no more from me, man. They became my friends, dude. They would lend me their bikes and everything, man. They never messed with me again after that. They never messed with my cousins anymore either. But yeah, man. That's when the very first time I ever got possessed, man. I remember it clearly. I tell you, I was in the restroom and I don't know. I just went and remembered that, man. That I told that guy not to hit me in my eye, and when I woke up after he hit me, there was just bodies everywhere, dude. The the moms were yelling at my dad's cousin, look what that huerco, mira lo que hizo ese huerco con mi hijo, mira cómo me lo dejó. Yeah, man, but like I said, man, my daddy gave me my first pair of nunchucks, man, when I was 5. I learned how to do the nunchucks since I was a 5-year old, man.
Texas Alarm says, I've had one time seen a dark flash before my eyes before acting out.
Oh no, beyond the box, there was a guy in Raymondville that owed me money. His name was Professor, and he kept ducking me and ducking me. So one day,
Nickname, Professor.
we called him Professor. Uh, I caught him in the middle of town, and I asked him for my money. He said he didn't have no money, so I grabbed him by his damn legs, and I was shaking him like that. And all he had was a cassette of Metallica, Master of Puppets. I go, hey man, you don't need to pay me. I'm just gonna keep this. so, so yeah, I shook him, man. I've been thinking back now, dude. I was really a bully with that guy,
He
man.
used to walk around with the little Walkman,
Yeah,
the cassette
kept that
ones.
too. I kept that too, man. I kept his Walkman. I told him when you can find my money, man, and pay me back, I'll give you back your stuff. He never gave me my money, so I kept his
How
stuff.
much did he owe you?
He owed me like $30, so I kept his Walkman and his Metallica's cassette. Beyond the box. Hey, back then, beyond the box.
He got on a bad road, didn't he? The professor for
Yeah, man, he was on drugs and everything. I mean, one time I tried to talk to him when I was already sober, and he was already hooked on drugs. And man, he tried to snap on me, man. Told me that he was gonna do this and this and that, man. So I got out of my car and I bitch slapped him. I go, "You forget who you talking to?" He took off running. Yeah, man. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. I was trying to give him a ride
His
somewhere.
real name was Reynaldo.
Yep, Ronaldo Trevino.
Reynaldo Trevino. We call him Ray. I remember him. He was kind of slow guy. I think he would go to the funny farm that they call it. For school for schooling is for people that would have problems with education. We call it the funny farm in trailers.
Mm-hmm.
It was slow. I knew him as Reynaldo, but his nick they call him Ray. And then of course his nickname was Professor because he had they call
Big
him because
glasses.
of glasses. Not that he looked like the professor from Gilligan's Island. It just because of the way he looked.
Yeah, he had two nicknames, man. They call him Professor and they call him Nano.
I know because
He was also
he looked
short.
like a nerd, like a nerd, right?
He
So that's
looked
why they
like
call him Professor.
he looked like Poindexter from Felix the Cat.
Yeah, I knew the guy, but yeah, I heard he got into in a very bad road.
Yeah, man.
He was
He's
listening to a lot of what do you call it, hard rock or that heavy metal that it started to affect him a certain way where unclean spirits were getting attached to him where he would act different at times
I mean, what happened
like
to him? He
like,
started
like
hanging
he was
around with
being
he
or
started
being
hanging around
spiritually
with
attacked.
he started hanging around with David and Danny Contreras. Man, that's what happened to his ass. That happened to me too when I started hanging around with them.
Those folks that's all they knew. They were in the their mother made national news. Maybe cousin Jesse can share a story what happened.
Dude, she did the most time. They were
Tell her what you brought their names up. Tell them what was up with that.
them people right there. They had a bar slash hotel on the outskirts of town. They had a store that was a store slash bar slash restaurant in right across the street from my grandfather's house. They had these little room shacks that they rented out by the month, and they were just little rooms, and people would rent them. And what they were doing was they were working. They would get people that crossed over from illegally from Mexico, and they would work them, and they would pay them $5 a day. $5 a day they would work them, and then they would feed them. So that not only did they have to pay for room and board, they had to pay for food at $5 a day. So they'd be there for years. Finally, when they got the money up to pay the coyote, they would take them to the coyote and let them off there. But what these people would do, they would call the immigration and tell them where they were. So they get caught, get deported. Here they come again and work another 5, 10 years at $5 a day, and then they get sent again and get deported again and start all over. But what these people were also doing, they were selling marijuana, they were selling cocaine, they had weapons, a high caliber automatic weapons, and
And they had people that were smuggling human trafficking.
yeah, well, all the
And
people.
in the apartment complex that he's talking about, underneath they had tunnels where they had kept people underneath there in the tunnels.
So what happened was this dude, and I can tell you, it was a white guy, redheaded white guy, and he was driving a camouflage 65 Chevy pickup, and he was dirty, man. This dude infiltrated their family because he started messing with one of the older daughters and broke up her marriage. And he would like shoot up and stuff, man. And he was a really dirty dude, man. And he he infiltrated their family and he busted them. When they got busted, they made national news because they took out like two buses of illegal aliens from wherever they were hidden. They took out, I think, two buses full of automatic weapons, and they took out a bus of marijuana and cocaine. And yeah, they all went to prison. They all went to prison, and she did the most time. Her husband got out first, and then her twin boys got out.
He blamed it all on her, right?
Uh huh. And when the twin boys got out, the youngest one, they killed him in prison.
What was
Abel
his name?
Junior. Abel Junior. They killed him in prison, I think. And they knocked down their bar and all the rooms, the motel they had on the outskirts of town where I used to live. They knocked all that down. They knocked down the rooms they had by the across the street from my grandfather's house, and they closed their store, revoked their liquor license, and yeah. So I don't know what she does for a living anymore, but yeah, she did I think 14 years federal time.
And she was a bruja also, a
Oh
witch.
yeah, Jaime. That lady right there will tell you, hey, we're gonna vote for this and such person. Come over here. We'll cook you something to eat. Give us your vote, and they will try to buy your vote with food and beer.
Yep. And if they liked you or
They
didn't
put
like
you
you,
to
should
work.
I say, you better careful if they're offering you a drink because
They will have
they'll
something in
start
it.
to reach us a glass and put it in the drink to
If they
mess
like
you up.
you, if they like you, they like me. They put you to work. I used to work for them for a while, and I used to defend them to tooth and nail and cape and sword. I would defend them until I found out different, and then I was like, what the hell was I doing? Because I
So,
worked.
did you know about all the things that were happening?
I didn't find out till the end when me and her son were partying in the bar after it closed, and we had a brick on top of the pool table. We were getting all smashed out, right, man, and she came banging on the door. He let her in, and he blamed me that all that was mine. That I twisted his arm to, dude. I was 18 years old. He was almost 30. How the hell am I going to influence it? And she looked at me and she told me, I'm going to kick your ass. I go, look, lady, I'm not your son. You lay a hand on me, I'm gonna put hands on you. And you know what? I'm not even gonna put hands on you. You lay hands on me, I'm gonna tell my mama. You know my mama, right? She goes, just leave.
She
She
was
don't
she
want
was
nothing.
huge. She was big.
She didn't want
She was
nothing with my
bigger.
mama.
She was as big as Hungry Hippo or bigger.
She didn't want no problems with my mama,
Huge,
man.
overweight woman, evil woman.
So yeah, man. Those are my dealings in the dark side of the force, cousin.
Our town is a small town, a corrupt town, and there's a lot of willing and dealing of all kinds of sorts there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I
Mm-hmm.
grew up, uh, getting in fights at a very young age in the streets, getting fights against people that were way older than me, where they would pull out knives, bats, chains. I had to get in fights when they would break bottles. People that were shooting up at the corner store, doing the chiva. Freaking yeah, they had the straps shooting up right there by the corner store while I'm trying to go get a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Crazy guys with their
Mm.
mouth crooked, being high on the chiva,
I remember,
heroin.
man. I remember when I showed up in Raymond, man. All them bottles were copying my style, man. How you doing, Andres Carizales? Welcome in, man.
There you go. Yeah, it's a crooked, corrupt town, crooked from the structure, from the foundation, from the judges, from the mayors to the police. Corrupted. If you're not in the in crowd, then you don't have a job within the city. In which there's hardly any jobs there, anyways. But to be in a
Man,
position of power where it's
man,
corrupt,
the judge's kids could get away with fucking murder and they would never get sent to jail. You cross the street and spit on the sidewalk, and they're trying to lock you up.
That's why I left. I got out of there.
I can't live there, man. I like the town, man. It's just it's like a time warp, man. You go there, time slows down. You feel heavy from all the negativity that lives in that town, man. Oh yeah, man. A lot of people knew my mom, man. Nobody messed with my mama, man. Nobody messed with Abe's mama either. They left the De La Fuentes alone.
Nor with my grandfather.
How many
My
were there?
grandfather
There
was
was
dead
10 of them,
over it.
right? There was like 10 De La Fuentes, right? Um,
They were afraid of my grandfather. They were afraid of some of my uncles. They didn't play around, man. They did not play. So you can only imagine how corrupt it was when they were growing up, doesn't?
there's like 9 of them, dude. There were 9 of them that were De La Fuentes, man. That my grandfather had. Then you add the other ones that you had with the other ladies. There's like a dozen, almost a dozen. But then again, Jaime, when it comes to Raymondville, we are related to like half the damn town are our cousins now because on our mom's side. Half the damn town are our cousins. But you know what? And they will tell you the only ones I call cousins are the Cias. They're the only ones that are cousins to me because they're the only ones that treated us like cousins.
Yeah, we was always there for one another.
Hmm. No, Jaime, Raymondville is like a ghost town. You don't see nobody running the streets until like 3 or 4 in the
Nighttime
morning when they're out there trying to score.
score, and of course you got the steel brujas running around late at night.
But they're high.
But they're high now. They're high trying to do witchcraft, but they're
they,
high.
they pull up to your house going, hooty hoo, hooty hoo.
They come at you singing, thinking they're wicked, like the new Wizard of Oz, the wicked. They're singing to you. No, I'm just playing. I
back,
left a long time ago. I left back in 1980.
back in our time, we used to walk up and down the main street. I had my boombox and we'd be jamming and people would be cruising. That don't happen anymore. There's no cruising. There's nobody walking around. Everybody's out there trying to get something. And then the bad thing is, man, that they're all hooked on that shit, so they're all out stealing lawnmowers. That's what they're doing, man. They're stealing lawnmowers so they can go pawn them.
God,
It's like over here, man. You don't want them to steal your lawnmower? Take the bag off and hide it. Over here, they don't take lawnmowers that don't have bags anymore. They gotta have a bag, or they won't take the lawnmower at the pawn shop.
wow.
Oh, and it's gotta be self-propelled. Things are tough, bro. You can't even pawn a lawnmower no more. It's gotta be self-propelled and have a bag. Otherwise, they won't take it at a pawn shop. If they do, they'll give you $5.
Wasn't Raymondville like on the list for AIDS?
Yeah, it's like Remerville's like one of the like almost like 4 or 5 on the list of sexual disease list in the whole U.S.
In the whole of the Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff there, man.
Yep, they're probably the same ones.
So they'll be shooting up and stuff. A lot of people are.
Yep. And the messed up part is, man, is that everybody knows everybody in the town, and then they'll be like, no, hombre, vino Lencho el otro día y se robó mi máquina de cortar zacate el cabrón. Everybody knows everybody in that town.
Tell them
Let's just say,
about the dirty cops, man. When we were growing up,
let me tell you that if you fart and an hour later people know how bad it smelled, and then they'll know if you pooed your drawers when you did it.
small town, they know everything, man. There's nothing. They know everything.
That and your neighbor's always trying to bed your wife.
Yeah. No, it's bad, man. You can do something at night. By the morning, the whole town knows what went down. They know
And like
everything detail by detail, and you're like, how the hell do they know this?
they're like, no, Abe hit that guy, and he twisted his fist right before he hit him and knocked his teeth out. Well, how do you know he twisted? He goes, he twisted it like this. You do it in slow motion. How you doing, Ed? Welcome in.
A lot of drug dealers in Raymondville. I, there was this guy that said he was locked up right there at the whatever jail thing that they have there in Raymondville, and he said that Raymondville is la mera planta. That's what he said.
Yep, yep.
That everything from the valley goes through Raymondville. That's what he said. That is la mera planta.
Yeah, the way they do it, and I know because I have friends that did it when they would smuggle people. They would wait for it to rain because when it's raining, they don't stop you. So they would wait for it to rain, and then would load up the trucks and cross all them fools over, man, right through the checkpoint.
Checkpoint. Yeah.
'Cause I know one of my ex brother-in-laws. That's all he did, man. He wanted to get me in that. I said, nah, man. I used to do that when I was 14, man. I don't need to repeat. Thank you. Not a lot of stuff, cousin. A lot of stuff I'm not proud of, man. But like I said, it was all. I've been on the negative side the whole time, man. I didn't have a choice.
It was pretty bad. Imagine me. I'm just a kid, like maybe 8 years old, going to the corner store, and in the alley, they got a teenager. The cops are beating him up in the alley with the billy clubs, and they're looking at me and they're telling me to stay out, to leave and get away, or else they're going to get me too. And I'm just a little kid, and this are cops that are crooked cops, and they're beating up this kid. So I go to the house and I'm standing trying to get the parents' attention to go help out their son. So I get their attention, and they go and tell them, "Hey, what are y'all doing? This and this and that." They're literally beating the crap out of them in the alley. That's how corrupt it was, and the cops will never be brought to justice because the judicial system there is corrupt, and they would do anything basically above the law, right?
I remember one time they were chasing Uncle Eddie in his car, and then he jumped out of the damn car, man, and he was running. This damn cop fucking ran up on him in the car and opened the door and hit him with the door. Dude ran him over. And if you would do that to a cop, man, that would be assault. But they can get away with that, man. That was assault, almost a murder, man, because he went under the door and rolled the damn door, made him roll on the ground. Yeah, just like that, Jaime. Did you hear que eso se cagó? Yeah, exactly, man. Y tenía nueces, no sé dónde comió elote. But yeah, man, that town is
The
so
shady
corrupt.
shit about the dirty cops there, man.
That town is so corrupt, man. And when they
And
see
it's
a
still
car
corrupt
that
to this day. As far as I know, it's still corrupt.
when they see a car that they've never seen before, they make it a point to stop it. Just because they've never seen it before, they make it a point to stop a car that they've never seen before. And then you stop your car, then you're looking at a damn guy that just got out of high school trying to act like he's fucking tough. Excuse my language. And I tell him, man, I take harder shits than you, man. What do you want?
Oh man.
Man, I'm turned over and you leave because I just hate cops, man. I've been through the system. I hate cops, dude. You know Tia Rachel's son, the cop. I don't talk to him because he's a cop. I'll talk to cousin Irene. I'll talk to Angie, but I won't talk to that fool, man, because he's a cop and I don't trust him.
Where is he a cop at?
Somewhere in the valley, man. I can't remember where, but he's a cop in the valley, dealing with those hardened, hardened valley gangsters.
They're everywhere, Sister Monica Davis. There's one thing to be corrupt, and then you got prejudice cops, like towards up in Dallas and McKinney, Texas.
Hey, man, I've always said if there's a hell on earth, it's Dallas County.
Hmm. He's bad over there against Hispanics.
They shoot first and then ask questions later. Always been that way in Dallas. That's why all the gay guys left Dallas and came to Fort Worth. Because they used to live in Dallas. They all moved to Fort Worth.
Monica Davis said that her mom was a cop in the 70s.
I believe it. There were a lot of female cops in the 70s because of that show, that policewoman show.
Policewoman.
Yeah, with Angie Dickinson. But yeah, no, that's all I can talk about right there, cousin. I've shared every dark moment in, that I know.
Well, you might have to talk for a little bit longer, cousin, because I'm fixing to do something.
Oh
I'm just
no.
down here. But let's stick to the topic of things of like tell them things that you witnessed, that you've seen.
Hey man, so what do you think happens to a guy that he's drinking and then he's talking to you, right? And then that sorry sack of crap man falls asleep in the middle of a conversation and he stays standing up, man. He stays standing up the whole time that you sleeping. And when he wakes up in the morning, he's still having the same conversation when he
Oh my
fell asleep. What's up with the, we get mad. We tell him, shut up, Willie, go back to sleep, man.
You want to come on, Sister Brenda?
Come on up.
I could drop a link here.
Hey, Brenda.
Let me drop the link.
Wow, dude, we've been out for an hour and a half, man.
Need to make it snappy and jump on because this thing's fixing to do something here.
Come
There's a link.
on. Come on, Brenda. Come on. Somebody standing by my truck. They tested me earlier, man. I set the alarm on it. They came and touched it and activated it and ran away, and I reset it, man. They're trying to steal my truck, man.
Okay, there's Sister Brenda, and I'm fixing to
Whoa,
park
behind the box.
jump out for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Hello.
All right, cousin. Take it easy, man. Hello, Brenda.
Hi.
How you doing? Let me tell you something. Back when my dad was leaving us with everybody. Yes, hi, man. Like I said, I was on the dark side for a long time, man. One of the things that made me like that, man, was like this story right here. I remember my dad left us with this lady. I can't remember her name, but uh, I don't know what it was with her that she would call her friends and tell her, watch. And then in order for my brothers to eat a hot meal, I would have to kiss her feet. And every day at midday, I always had to drop down on my knees and kiss her feet so my brothers could eat.
Mm-mm.
And that right there, that's why I was mad at the world, and I wanted to destroy everything and everybody. I had to humiliate myself so that my brothers could eat. I always looked after my brothers. You know, my mom split. My little brother was 6 months old when she split, and my brother Joe was like three. That's five. I had to be mom and dad while my dad took off and did I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, I went through like the opposite stuff. I went through sexual abuse, not, um, well, I guess you can consider that physical abuse if it comes from your family and you're drugged and different stuff like that. But um, I was going to tell Abe about a situation that happened to me when I was 15. You
Let's
know,
talk. He's listening. We could talk about it.
yeah, you know, I had gone to a cemetery with some of my friends at night. And of course, we did, I don't know what we were doing, but our hairs were getting pulled and everything. And I got bit in my back in between my shoulder blades,
Wow.
to the point that it was bleeding. So we left from there, and I told whatever was there that it had to stay there, it couldn't go with us, yada yada yada. So we get in the car and we leave. Now I've told that story before, but I never told anybody what happened the next day. I went over to go babysit for this lady who was a friend of my mom's, and she had a baby. This baby was like 2 months old. And I was babysitting. I fed the baby, put her down for a nap. And I went into the other room and I was watching TV. I knew the baby was napping. I heard the baby crying. And I thought, oh. So I got up, and when I went into the room, the baby was not in her crib.
What?
And I was running around all over the place. I didn't know what to do. She had a phone that was cordless, so I picked up the phone and I went back in the room and I was going to call the cops. And there the baby was in the crib asleep.
What?
So I sat there in a chair in the baby's room until her mom came home. When I went home, I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, because this was a Saturday that it happened, I remember. I said, Mom, when you go to church tomorrow, I'm going with you and I want to be baptized. And she was like, okay. And I did, and I never had any problems after that. And that Friday night that all happened at the cemetery, I had nightmares that night while I was asleep. So I kind of wonder if something did come home with me, and when I was babysitting, if it was messing with me. You know,
Sounds like it.
I it was the weirdest thing. Let me tell you, I heard the baby crying. I went to the crib. I could still hear the baby crying. There was no baby there. I couldn't figure out what happened to the baby. And a 2 month old, you don't really cover up because
Nope.
it's not like the baby was under the blankets. Um, and I was freaking out. I was so scared. I thought somebody broke in and stole the baby. And I was going to call the cops and walk back in the room. It's quiet, and the baby is laying there asleep in the crib. And I could never exactly figure out what what it was or why. I mean, I knew it had to have something to do with the cemetery the
Yeah,
night
it did.
before. I knew it did.
It
But
followed you.
I could never understand, how it made me not see that baby in the crib. You know,
Yes.
it was weird.
That's really it's weird. Yes, Jaime, I was mother and daddy to both of my little brothers. Um, my little brother Gilbert, like I said, he was 6 months. He has a lot of love and respect for me, man, because I kept him alive after my mom split. I think my
Yeah.
grandfather came and picked him up, picked us up when we were like, he was like 8 months. So about 2 months, I kept him alive by myself.
Well,
Maybe
I was sexually assaulted from the time I was 5, and then from 9 to 12, my
sorry to hear
uncle
that in
my
the
uncle
box.
my uncle used to sell me at parties. He used to drug me, and he lived in Beverly Hills, and he used to
Oh,
have
some,
big, high parties there.
oh, somebody finally stopped the mud hole in his ass.
Um, he is actually still alive, but his house is one of the houses that got burned down when LA had their fires.
He got some karma.
Yes. He was like, I'm moving to Arizona. I'm like, good for you. I actually stopped talking to him for years and years. And
I
then
don't blame him.
to be able to get all of the truth out of him, I had to get with my dad. And my dad got him on the phone. Well, I got him on the phone, but my dad was on the other end listening. And when I started asking him questions, he was dancing around him. And my dad was like, no, you tell her the truth. And my dad hadn't talked to him since I was 5. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But what doesn't kill us, Jesse,
Mhm.
makes us
Mhm.
stronger.
Yes, we're not victims. We are survivors.
That's correct. That
Yep.
is absolutely correct.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
And that's hard when you go through something like that, and then you're around the people that did that to you, and then they're talking about other people that do that, like they don't remember what they did to you. And you just have to like forgive
yeah.
them. You just have to forgive them and just move on. Because
Well,
I don't give nobody, I don't give nobody that kind of power over my life, man.
my uncle ended up. My uncle was a 4-star general in the military, and he was also a 33-degree Mason.
Yep. Well, that says a lot.
So yeah, so I'm lucky I even survived.
Didn't you say that your sister perished after something like that?
Yes, she did.
See, I
Yep,
listen. I remember.
yep. I had an identical twin, and when we were 5, and all that was happening, she was with me at one point. And then it was funny because they took me to a military hospital. And when I woke up, I asked for my sister. They said she died. And as I got older, I was like, I kept asking, why did she die? Why did she die? And they finally told me, well, she died of meningitis. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until I got older and understood a lot of things that go on in this world that I figured it out. And I was like, yeah, uh-uh. But yeah, I mean, we have we have so many things that go on around us. And when I hear Abe, he always says spiritual, spiritual, and I think to myself, you know, what my uncle was into, and that is spiritual, really, because I think the man definitely did and still does have some kind of demons that live within inside of him.
Well, Texas Learning, it's hard, but you don't let nobody have that kind of power over your life, man. You have to keep moving forward.
Yes.
You have to live in the moment. Every day is different, man.
And I do, Texas. I do forgive him, but I will never forget him, and I will never ever be around him alone nor trust him. But I do forgive him. I don't
Yeah,
have
so
hate in my heart. I just have dislike and non trust.
Let me
And
know what you guys in the 80s.
beyond the box, it's like I said, I raised both my little brothers, right? But
yeah,
my brother, the one that killed the cat, uh, he almost cut my thumb off. He tried to stab me in the stomach, and I grabbed the knife with my left hand, and When he pulled back, he cut from here all the way back here.
Yeah,
And I flat foot kicked him under the throat, and he flew back, and his head went through a glass door. Uh, I don't know what it was with me and him. We couldn't stand to be in the same room together. You could ask cousin A. We were around each other. It was always a fight. I always tried to treat him like my brother. He would always want me to treat him like some fool off the street. And it got to the point that it got real bad. We couldn't even be in school together. We couldn't be in the same classroom or nothing because it was. We made a teacher cry because we got into a big old fight inside a classroom. Trash cans were thrown and everything. Uh, I, I, I didn't understand. Like I said, he almost cut my thumb off. He tried to hit me, and I moved out the way. He stuck his hand through a stained glass window at a store, and he cut his veins on his wrist, and he was bleeding out. By the time the ambulance got there, they took him to the hospital. He's got plastic veins in his left hand. Uh, but you know what? I don't know what the hate was. I think he told me one time that he hated me because I'm junior, and he wanted to be junior. And I told him, hey man, you can't blame me for something I don't have control over, man. I can't
that's
help it.
true.
I was born when I was born, and I can't help the name that they gave me. That wasn't part of anything that I chose, man. But now that we're both in our 50s, late 50s, we get along fine now.
Oh yeah,
It's just that when we were teenagers, we could not stand each other. I mean, just the sight of him trying to act big shit, excuse my language, would just piss me off because I've never acted that way.
yeah,
And it's like I asked somebody, I don't know how two guys that were raised by the same man are so different. We're as different as night and day. And they're like, this friend of mine told me, Dad, I go, what do you mean? He goes, they're all in the same hand, but they're all the wrong. They're not all the same size. So each one does what it wants to do. So that explained it.
right. Monica says that there is spiritual wickedness everywhere. Monica, I was doing a study on different things, and do you know that the biggest religion in the world, I'm not talking about the United States, in the world, is Satanism. And it's bad. I know down here in Austin there is a satanic temple there. And I had told my friend Susie, I was like, one day I would like to get pretty close to there and sit where people can't see us and take pictures of everybody that walks in there just to see how many of our Texas politicians go to that temple.
There is a Masonic temple in every city, in every state in the United States.
Yeah, I do not know, but I do not doubt.
I can tell you where there's one right here in Fort Worth. The one here in Fort Worth is close to a freeway.
Really?
And it's a big old Masonic temple. It's got big stairs. It's a big old building, and it says Masonic Temple in the front.
Yeah.
There, like
Wow.
I said, there's one in every state and every city in the United States.
I really wish somebody would shut those things down, but
It's the biggest
freedom of
gang in the
speech,
world.
freedom of religion. That's what they
Hmm.
say. And if they want to fight it, that's how they do it. Freedom of religion.
My ex-wife's father, he was like the 33rd level Freemason. He's been in there for a long time, and then
Yep.
like when we divorced, I was scared because he could make me disappear. No questions would be asked.
You, you know, that's funny, but it is correct.
Yeah, yeah. All you
It's
gotta do is
correct.
wink at somebody a special way and throw
Yeah.
some gang signs at them, and that's
When
it.
when I got old enough to leave California on my own, I left and I moved around. I got married and just moved different states, and I didn't want a lot of my family to know where I was because I was afraid somebody would come get me. you know? So yeah, it was pretty bad. Even as an adult, that was one reason, Jesse. When I got to Nevada, I went to Phoenix and joined the police academy there because I was like, you know what? I got to stick up for myself. I got to know how to protect myself. I have to know how to take care of myself. I just had to
Hey,
because
Jaime, I've always been about respect, bro. You gotta be willing to die for it, Holmes. Respeto is everything to me, man. Sorry to be
yeah,
on about it.
no, you're okay. But you're right. I mean, nowadays I'm going to defend myself even if it costs me my own life. You know, I would. Well, my daughter's not in this state, but I would defend my daughter and my grandson. I would stand in front of a bullet for them. You know,
I hear
I've
you.
I've lived, and I'll tell you, I do not. I hate with a lot of things that I've been through in my life. I hate when I ran across this younger person. What do they call them? Not millenniums, the Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you this kid talked to me like he was a grown adult and I was his child. I said, "Whoa, excuse me? I don't think you know who you're talking to, but you better think again." I can't, I hate it. I hate being disrespected like that. It's like, because I didn't join the military, my uncle wanted me to, but I always had a little bit of a problem with authority. So
Hello, Sailor Nemesis.
he was like, "Well, we'll just put you in a military academy and you can come out already as an officer." No, because I still have a problem with authority. So, but I did join the police academy and I went through a lot of stuff and I seen a lot of stuff. I may not be a veteran, but I am a veteran of fighting for people.
He's in the
Period.
background, Sailor Nemesis. He can hear everything that's being said. He's here.
Yep, he is here.
What did Hyman said? He said Jesse Jack said there was a rich gated community, women naked with pentagrams, tattoos. What did they do for that wealth? What do you think they did, Hyman? They sold.
Yeah.
They sold themselves.
Yep.
Hello, Random Files.
Are
How you
you
doing?
talking? Are you talking about Bohemian Grove,
He probably
Jaime?
is. Hello, Randy, Victoria, Alexander. How you doing? Hello, Duendita. Welcome in.
Oh, everybody's coming. Here they all come.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. He's talking about Bohemian Grove.
yeah. I learned about respect when I was at a very young age. Hyman, like I said, I've been gangbanging since I was like 12 years old. So, yeah, they taught me really early about respect, man. Because you know how it was in the old days. If you ran around being really cocky, the neighborhood would teach you how to act. Somebody would teach you a lesson.
you're gonna you're gonna learn how to act, man.
Yeah, like they say, it takes a village over here. It takes a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so weird to me when I was younger. I mean literally. I went to
Hello,
my mom.
Bounty. How you doing?
I said, "That's it. I need to go to church with you tomorrow and I want to get baptized." She's like, "Okay." Yep.
Yeah. It-
Yep.
Hello, Rich Sykes. Yeah, no, girl. It took me a while to get baptized because I had to like really, really want it. Because
Yeah.
it's not a good thing. It's alright to lie to yourself, but when you're lying to the man upstairs, that's really, really bad. So I went to classes and everything, and about a year later, I got baptized, and it's been almost 2 years since I got baptized. So yeah, I'm living my best life now, man. I don't miss any of the stuff I used to do. I don't miss any of the people I used to hang out with. You know, you have to like you have to do or not do.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've done that. I mean, I did it again when I was older, but it's been quite a while. So yeah,
Alrighty.
I think Abe is back.
You know,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
still
listening. There we go. Yeah, I've been listening to the conversation from.
good night, Rick Sykes.
I was playing for a jackpot, and the X Men got it.
Oh no.
That X-Men's lucky, man. He's getting most of them.
Yeah, yeah.
He's probably the one that owns the game. He knows how to cheat.
I was playing for it. He was playing. I think him and my wife were playing for it in the lobby, in a different lobby. I jumped in a different one, and he's the one that won it.
Oh no.
It's all good.
So
Uh,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I came out from the dark side of this into the light, and I really don't want to go back into the dark side. I enjoy the light. I enjoy just talking with people and just being a good person to other people. Because that was always in my nature. It's just people that mistreated me that made me be who I was, and I had so much anger that people had to suffer.
Think about this, Jesse. I figured it out. I talked to a lot of different people about their situations and what they've survived. And this is what I figured out. There are people that go through their lives living nice, cushiony lives, and they find the Lord, they go to church, they, always stay in this light in their life. But then there are people that I believe the Father knows are hard headed, and we have to learn things the hard way. And I think between the way I grew up in my life, I think that had I had not gone through the things I went through, I probably would have been hell on wheels. So, because I'm stubborn and I don't like authority, you know?
Yeah. Uh,
So,
they wrote a song about it. I fight authority.
yeah,
Authority over Damn it, John.
right, right.
Damn that, John Cuban.
I probably would have ended up in jail, in and out of jail, and who knows? Who knows?
Well, you know
I
what?
was a rough kid.
I had to go to jail to finally understand that I had gone about as far as I could on my own, and I needed spiritual guidance.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, the first time I decided that's what I needed was that next night when I was babysitting after I got out of that cemetery. I was like, "Oh no," cuz I knew it had something to do with me going there that day.
Yep, yep. Well, I'll be honest, man. When I was a teenager, we used to go party at the cemetery. There was a tomb that we partied on top of because it was a big tomb, and the name on it was Bose. And we would all meet there, and we would drink and smoke, and just do whatever. So we would always party in the cemetery. We have to keep an eye on the security so they wouldn't catch us.
Yeah. I spent a whole year after that with my grandmother trying to teach me different things to ward off stuff like that if that were to ever happen again and get rid of it myself. Because my grandmother was just like me. She could see, hear, and communicate with spirits. So, she knew, she taught me the difference between somebody who just passed and they're lost or things that were just bad trying to get in where they didn't need to be. So, yeah, I spent a year with her trying to refresh all that so that never happened again. Because I'm here to tell you, I panicked. I literally panicked. I thought, did this 2-month old baby fall out of the crib? I mean, I was looking everywhere for this baby. And I'm thinking, I know I put this baby to bed. And I'm just everywhere. It was horrible. I mean, it really did scare me to the point where I was like, nope, nope. My mom is right. I really need God. That's what I need. And I went into church that day. I felt so weird. Um, After I got baptized, I felt relaxed and relieved, like it was
All
done.
all that weight came off your shoulders. That's how I felt when I came up.
Yeah, it was freaky. But Abe is back now, and he didn't come back a millionaire, so we don't all have to run out and party.
I was waiting for him to say, "Coke's on me, cuz."
Yeah, right. We're going out for lobster.
I was just playing for a little, take a little time off. I was listening to what y'all were saying,
Yeah.
the things that you witnessed that you happen, cult-like activity, well, the cult like a cult, but it's a ring of evil people
Yeah.
that do evil things. Do you think that the evil things that they do is because they got to do it? Is it like an initiation to what they were worshiping?
I
You
think so,
know,
yes.
It's an initiation to what they're worshiping, right? In order for them to become part of the cult, they have to do certain things. I
Right.
think some of the things that they do also is kill
Yeah,
people,
sacrifice.
sacrifice people.
Yes.
So they do all kinds of evil acts. Um, they've been doing it for a while now since they were in power. That's why they had the borders open for a very long time, uh,
Yep.
letting people come in all the time. Yeah, there's people that were coming flooding the borders, but there was children disappearing.
Yep. And that was one of the main things that they had going on. It wasn't only just smuggling in drugs, it was child
Human
trafficking and
child
human
trafficking,
trafficking.
human
Yeah.
trafficking.
Hmm. And think about it. If you worked for people who said,
It's
you
kind of
know,
like it's kind of
bring,
like what do you call it? Like rustling cattle.
yeah,
It's kind of
bring,
like that because they're rustling children from Mexico. They have no identification, no birth certificate, so they can go through the
yep,
radar without ever being found
exactly. And
because they don't exist in the United States.
it's not only Mexico. They get them from all over the world, and they bring them over here, or we take them from here. Do you remember way back in the day when they had the milk carton kids?
Yes,
Kids, do you know that the government stopped that? Why? Because people were noticing kids everywhere. Because those milk cartons weren't just in the United States; they went everywhere. So, what is it? You listen and you hear things about kids that disappear, they never find them. They don't find a body, they find nothing. That's because they're not in this country. They take them out of this country and take them to other countries. Nobody in another country is going to get a news release that we're missing this kid. So they stopped doing those milk carton things. So this has been going on for many, many generations.
the missing 401 cases.
Yeah,
But that's for children that are here in the United States. The missing 141 cases, but they don't talk about all the missing children that are coming from Mexico.
yeah. Do you know
What
that
they're doing to
there
them.
there is like 83 83,000, there might even be more than that, kids that go missing just in the United States alone every year.
In
Every
the United States. Uh,
Yeah.
And there's a lot that are disappearing from Mexico
Yeah.
that they're human trafficking through the borders.
Yep. And they do it underground if they can't do it above ground.
So the ones
You
that are happy, or the people from the cult of was it Moloch? Is it
Yeah.
Moloch?
Yeah. You talking about like the
The Clintons and
33
Obama.
Freemasons and the,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's what they're doing to the children. They're using them as man, not just sacrifices. They're uh, being pedophiles, raping children, doing all kinds of
Yep.
things to them.
Yep. Sure do.
And
You
there's
know what I
nobody
found?
nobody that can help them because they don't exist in their system here in the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I found out today, man? My brother called me from Juarez. He uh he rents a little post at the flea market out there, man. He said that they killed that guy that rents the spaces out because he didn't have his quota, man. The cops came looking for their money for their bite, and he didn't have it, so they took him away and they killed him.
Mm.
So now my brother's afraid to go out there and try to sell
Which
because
brother
if
is
you
this?
don't, my brother Valdemar, my stepbrother.
Oh,
So yeah, man, they killed the dude that rented the space out, man. The cops killed him because he didn't have a quota. That's messed up when the cops go out to work and when they're out working, they're robbing people, man.
Yeah. Who does this? And that's what we were talking about, Abe, when we were talking about somebody had said something about a a gated type of community and you can't go in there, and
there
it
was a
sounded like
story, the
well,
story that my brother shared here when he used to build make swimming pools. He used to work up in West Texas, near somewhere in Lubbock, or around the cities of Lubbock, and he was working in this gated community where there were all cult members from a cult. They had all the symbols, tattoos, and he said that they'll be there. They didn't care. They'll be there while he was working doing the pool. They'll be out there having butt naked, having sex in front of them.
oh my gosh.
They had satanic symbols and everything like that. And then at lunchtime, all the people from the neighborhood will go to. There was like a lake or a creek, and they'd be out there butt naked during the middle of the day.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, that's all I can
Cult,
say.
the cult like activities. He said he was always getting invited to parties and all this kind of things. But he said he chose not to do anything like that because he didn't trust him. Because they invite you to a party, then you become the meal
Yeah.
or the
And
sacrifice.
and it's like I turned around and told Jesse, I said, I was doing a study and found out that one of the biggest religions there are in the world is Satanism. And so the things that these people do, whether cults or what have you, they're basically demonized because they are serving Satan. So, you know, it's it's horrible. That's what it is.
And it's messed up. They think they have power because they're worshiping Lucifer, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's uh, the music people,
Yeah.
whether it's politics. They have that kind of power. They think they have some kind of power uh, because of what they're dabbling in. But if they only knew that they're being deceived
Yeah.
because it got them where it wants them, you know, their future, their destiny, their fate is going to be a horrible death of the spirit.
Yeah. And people will say, like I've had people even tell me, you know, in this country we have freedom of speech, we have freedom of religion. And that's what they'll use, freedom of religion. Well, that's fine. Go ahead and believe in what you're going to believe in because I'm not the one you have to answer to. And that's the way I deal with it. It's not me you have to worry about. You'll answer for it later. Trust me. So, I mean, people that they don't understand, you're right, they're being deceived. They get what they want. The devil is a trickster.
They know
You
what they're
know?
doing. They know who they're affiliated with. They've
Yeah.
chosen the path.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
P Diddy is one of them, and
Oh
there's so
yeah.
many. I mean, it goes all the way to Epstein's Island. It's not even about the island. It's about all the other things that all the other people are doing. It's been
Right.
happening for a very long time.
Yeah.
This cult doesn't just exist within the United States; they exist in Mexico. I mean, when the Washers were here,
Yeah.
that they were in charge of all the what should I say? I'm not going to say kingdoms, but of all the people that
Yeah.
they considered themselves to be like gods. So they were given the orders that they had to sacrifice people in order for the crops to grow, in order for it to rain.
Yeah.
So the people were listening and they were doing this sacrifices. It reminds me of the people in Hollywood industry and the music and the politics that they're
Right.
doing the same thing that people of the past were doing, which they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
They just figure I need a bigger house, Satan. Can I have a bigger house? And boom, there's their big house. They're like, all right, this guy's spot on. These people are foolish. They do
but just like
not
that,
realize.
you can have all the money in the world, but in the blink of an eye, it can all disappear
Yep,
because
exactly.
Lucifer, the devil, is about lies.
Yep.
You can show your stack of money, you made the deal already, and next thing you know, poof, it's
What's up,
gone.
good Richard? Welcome in.
Yes.
And you don't got a single penny, but he's got you.
Yep.
Ooh,
Well,
we.
I will let you guys finish the show. I just figured I'd come on with Jesse and sit and chat for a little while you were gone, so he didn't have to talk to himself.
Thank you. I appreciate it beyond the box.
Hey, no problem.
As always, I did
Thank
it for
you.
Stevie Smith.
I just got two new pillows. My daughter bought me pillows and sent them to me. And they're big queen size pillows, but they're down pillows. They're duck down pillows,
Oh, cool.
which is nice because I had a feathered pillow when I was a kid and I carried it around with me for years. And one day it just split open and all the feathers came out and I had to throw it away.
Um,
So these will last a long time, and my dog seems to like them. He lays on them and he's all snuggly in them. So, but yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go back in, and they're gonna do their little thing. So I've
yeah, well, tomorrow morning, sometime I'm gonna be at the ER as well. Beyond the box, I gotta go get myself checked out because I still can't see with my left eye. I mean, I can see some, but not like I should be seeing.
well, when that happened to me, the optometrist was putting needles in my eyes and
Oh hell no!
giving me injections, and I'm here to tell you, I was like, all right, fine, because they wouldn't leave me alone about it. But then the last time I went in, my eye wasn't numb enough, and he stuck that in, and I jumped, he jumped, and the person that took me jumped, and that was it. I wouldn't do it again because those needles go sideways at all in your eye. It hurts, and it took a month before I could even remotely see out of that eye, and it stopped hurting. So now he's
Yeah,
like, we need to get back to doing that. And I said, and I will never be back here to see you again. Thank you.
yeah, I won't do that because I need to be able to drive because I drive my mom around.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beyond. Thank you, Nelly.
I'm going to wait till I go into the eye doctor to get an eye exam and wait for them to tell me they have seeing eye dogs on sale. And then I'm going to ask if we can teach them how to drive my remote control chair and we'll be
Um,
good.
that's funny because I'm gonna ask him about that too. I'm gonna ask him if they could put one of those blind canes on the bumper of my truck.
Right? Yeah. Put it out far enough so you don't bump into somebody or hit the side
Yeah,
of the side of
yeah,
the curb. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for
yeah.
letting me come up, and I'll be in the chat.
We'll
No
see you
problem.
later, Beyond about.
All
Bye.
Yeah,
right.
a
Bye.
blessed evening.
You too.
Bye.
And then there was two.
That was a yo had a it's 2 hours and 19 minutes. We've been talking all kinds of things tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what happens when Jesse's here.
Spiritual infiltration by the enemy. We see a lot of that nowadays. You seen earlier we got infiltrated here, and we got rid of the troll that was here.
Oh yeah, we got rid of his. He's probably talking to Joseph.
He's got a corner of the cob talking to Joseph.
Yep,
Joseph
yep.
is corner of the cob.
Ooh. Hello, Evie. ¿Cómo estás, prima?
So what time is your appointment in the morning, cousin?
As soon as I get up and eat something, man, I'm gonna call my uncle so he can drop me off at the ER. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to see, man. Then I'm able to see now. And I'm glad to be back. For a minute there, I thought Primo was gonna replace me.
Oh no, it's people always want to jump on here on spiritual encrypted encounters. My brother jumped on there, which we talked. We had a pretty good show that day. I think what's his name, Jaime, like the stories that he was saying. And then just a double down that I don't have to say nothing. That I have family members that can relate to the stories that I'm saying, that they're genuine and that they're true because they witnessed it too. So that's why I brought him on. I think Jaime, like the stories that he was sharing. He's got a lot of other stories also, a lot more.
Fucking Madeline.
He's working right now. He's got the night shift, so
You see what Madeline just said, cousin? She said you were gonna replace him with chicken cleghorn. That's messed up, cousin. You know, replace me with chicken cleghorn.
no, I think I was doing pretty good by myself. Just going, going at it.
Well, I
It's
was
just sometimes
listening.
it's slow on Sundays, on Saturdays it's slow because everybody's out there clubbing and stuff, doing their thing. So those are the
Yeah.
slow days.
Not Jesse. Jesse's sleeping. Saturday. Jesse has no friends and nowhere to go, man. Ooh, almost 2.5 hours, cousin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Abe has the gift of gab, and Jesse has the gift of making an ass out of himself and make people laugh. Thank you, Dick.
Yeah, I've been taking it easy on the pachangas. I really haven't been out there going to the clubs like I used to. I mean, I would just go to dance, because I love to dance. But at the same time, you have to be careful because the unseen enemy is always lurking through people, always trying to find a spiritual opening. So one of the things that I stopped doing was drinking. I don't really drink. Not unless it's a special occasion, I might have a drink, but it could affect me. But I try to stay as sober as possible. Yesterday, we got pulled over. Me and my wife got pulled over for a license plate light out, but they give us a warning and they let us go. That's why we started the live lead, the live late. That's okay. The one that said she's got a bad hip, or this Duendita.
Donita, you're all bone, Donita. You got a misplaced hip. Somebody's moving you too much. I remember the last time, Primo, that I was dancing quebradita with this girl. I dropped her. She was pissed, dude. I dropped her, man.
You dropped her on the dance floor.
Yeah, I was drunk as hell too, man. I picked her up, dude, like that. And when I was bringing her down, she's. I guess I shouldn't have had that popcorn. Cause my hands were buttery.
You dropped her like a bad habit, eh?
Yeah, she slipped right out of my hands.
Yeah, I've been resting up. Uh, I did a live. I was busy today. At lunchtime, I did a a podcast. Uh, did a podcast this early this morning for about three at lunchtime for about 3 hours. Let's see something here with brother Dominic down in Oshio. We did a podcast this morning for his podcast. He said that he'll let me know probably sometime at the end of July is when it's going to air. You know, it's a good one. It's going to be a good one. Just put it that way. Uh, so I rested up a little bit this afternoon. I was still kind of groggy when I contacted cousin Jesse, but and I said I was going to do the live at around 11:30, 11:45. But then I said, you know what, screw it. Let's do it at 11. And here we are. We are at the 2 hours and 27 marker right now. Then we got 37 viewers, so that's good. Um, we are at a spiritual warfare. I've been seeing still activity. This dark shadow spirits infiltrating the neighborhood. This evening we're driving. We had bought some burritos and stuff. We were coming home, and I witnessed something moving in my neighbor's yard, and they had the lights on, and I could see something moving, but then it just disappeared. So yeah, spiritual warfare is very real, and if you're being spiritually targeted, well, you got to have how should I say it? Not have any spiritual openings, because just like that, in the blink of an eye, they can try to attack. So I'm not trying to give the unseen enemy any kind of spiritual opening, but it's very real, brothers and sisters. And I wanted to go and do an investigation, but I said no. I'm not gonna go do any investigation out in the woods anytime soon. If I do, whenever it does happen, most likely sometimes in July and August, I already have enough evidence that I don't have to put my life in danger, spiritual danger, uh, to capture anything, because I've already caught a lot of things out there, and I know that they come they come around the neighborhood where I don't have to go out there because it surfaces up here. Uh, so you got to stay prayed up at all times and really watch your Q's and P's of the path that you're living in. You know, when you think, for the people that think that nothing can happen, that they're untouchable, that's when things can happen, or they feel that they're spiritually protected, things can happen. Because there's spiritual tests that we all have to go through sometimes. I would say, no matter what you're going through, you have to maintain your love foundation and your faith and belief in Jesus Christ, because that will help you overcome the trials and tribulations that come your way. What do you think about that, cousin Jesse?
Everything you said is true, cousin. And like I said, I'm barely seeing the the white side of the spectrum because all my life, man, I dwelt in darkness, cousin. I'm finally seeing how good the rainbows look, man. How pretty the trees are because I was always in darkness. My father was a very abusive man. He would like beat us like we were grown men, dude. He wouldn't use a belt. He'd use his fists and his feet.
In which that right there is all is not out of love, it's out of hatred and anger, in which it affects the person that's receiving that kind of treatment in a negative way. It affects a person through physical abuse and mental abuse, even spiritual abuse, because is planting a negative seed.
Well, the
I
bad
know
thing
every
is,
time I felt anger when I was a kid, when I was getting disciplined in that nature, I was always asking God for forgiveness to get the bad thoughts out of my mind because the unseen forces was trying to find a way in. So I'll rebuke it. And some of the things that will come into mind was not good. You could say death was one of them. When the unclean spirits are making you wish something bad towards somebody. So you have to say, God, forgive me for thinking that way. But it's not that it's you thinking that way. It's because of the anger, the hatred, the violence that's happening that it makes you
well,
think that way through anger.
cousin, the last time my father hit me, he broke my nose and he embarrassed me. That's before I went to Raymondville. He embarrassed me in front of my friends. So what happened? The next thing you know, I've got a rifle with a scope on it. I'm barely crawling down the alley covered in twigs and dark makeup. I make it to the through the alley to where my dad's house is, and I'm looking at him through my scope. I was about to blow his brains out, man, but I changed my mind. Something told me not to do it, and I'm glad I listened to that voice that told me not to do it, and that's how I wound up in
How old were you
Raymondville.
at the time?
Uh, about 16. 16. Well, right before I got to Raymondville, man. I got to Raymondville. I turned 17 when I got to Raymondville. Yeah, I had him in my sights, dude. I could see him in the scope, and I was about to blow his brains out. But something at the last minute told me not to do it, and I didn't. I killed a neighbor's dog instead. I hated that damn dog. He bit me once. But yeah, then I wound up in Raymondville. And what happens as soon as I get off the bus in Raymondville? I'm crossing the tracks, and Jaime and that Monte Carlo and his girlfriend, she's like, he just jumped off the train. So, yeah, after that, man, I kind of figured that there was a little bit of good in me, man, because I didn't do it. Gotta blow my nose, cousin.
I wanted to share something with y'all. Let me see. I need to find this first. Let me see. I can find it first. Can't share nothing if I can't find it. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well, enjoying the show. I want to share something to you how sometimes these things that are around us that infiltrate uh, See if I can find a picture. Is it that one? Let me see something real quick. Trying to find a certain video, brother and sisters, of that I was sharing last time when I did a live, and on the video I had captured something in which I had taken a close look at it. But I'm trying to find it. Uh, See if I can find it.
Ooh, cousin, it's getting close to that time. I didn't bring a charger.
All right, cousin.
I'm trying to see the picture you're trying to post.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it real quick, cousin. Okay, let me share this one. This is, I'm telling you, man, I capture all kinds of things. I don't think I've really shared this one, but I'm going to share it here today on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Can you see it, cousin?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, look at those eyes following you, man.
And then it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
There he
boom.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
There's one here that's opening his mouth. Check it out. It's right there already, and then there's another one right beside it up here, and it disappears just in a blink of an eye. So I'm gonna slow it down to capture both of them before it disappears. There it is.
Wow,
Check it out.
that's crazy, cousin. They're right there next to you.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Looking.
That's crazy, man.
Then it disappears. There's not even like it's like half a second or something. But there it is, right behind me. So I'm gonna push play so y'all can check it out. Where it just, I wish that TikTok wouldn't be there, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have to work on this. You see that it looks like there's two. The one above, there's one right there, and then that one there. Let me see
Wow.
if I can pause it. See right there, it's moving his mouth. The one that's low. See, I'm gonna get it where its mouth is open. It's right here. There was one below and one above. Two of them.
Wow.
The enemy infiltrating within Mother Nature. I call this big, and it was right behind me. I just wanted to share that. Share a couple of videos that I had. I was looking for a specific video. Uh, but what do you think about that, cousin?
Oh, it looked like a dog, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
Claire Porter, it was a dog, man. I
you
don't know,
see,
Dick.
I just
One
don't
time,
say I just don't say stories here on spiritual encrypted encounters. I share my evidence of what I've captured out there.
yeah, Dick, I
Because
don't know about that because one time I was talking to a voice in my head and I asked for, and it was the creator, and I asked for proof, and it started raining over me and only over me. Hello, Wendy Romero, how you doing? She wants a prayer, Primo. Wendy Romero wants a prayer. She says she's gonna get her knee replaced in the morning.
go ahead, lead the prayer, cousin.
Heavenly Father, we pray that everything goes well in Sister Wendy Romero's operation in the morning. May there be no variables that you have not seen. May everything come out as it should. And this I pray, Amen.
Amen.
All right, cousin, I got 15%. I'm getting out of here.
Okay, cousin.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Oh yeah, they're always around. I have a lot of videos like that where you can see movement. They show their eyes, their nose, how they look. Yeah, and they disappear in the blink of an eye. That's what I wanted to show you that video, just to let you know that they're amongst us, right, in disembodied form, or what they call unclean spirits, where they're there. They can be there for a good couple of seconds, and just like that, they'll disappear. Uh, I think the reason that they don't photobomb my videos that way is because they're identifying themselves to me of who they are. So like that, through spiritual law, they're identifying because they're being captured on video, right? So they're actually identifying themselves. Uh, the other way they can identify themselves is when they manifest. Oh, Cousin Jesse's back.
No, man, I pushed the wrong button.
Okay,
Sorry.
cousin. There you go. He's gone. You see, cousin Jesse just appeared and disappeared, just like that the DDN that I captured in the woods. So I'm just trying to bring awareness to the people that when you think there's nothing around you, trust me, there's always something around, and especially if you have a spiritual opening, this unseen forces are around, just waiting. You know, it's kind of like you got your north, the south, the east, and the west. You're in the center. They're around you and just waiting and waiting to see if you have a spiritual opening. Earlier I got rid of a troll that came in here. We already know who that was, by the way. Got rid of them. Uh, that's what they do. They infiltrate. Infiltration by trying to disturb what you're trying to share or talking about. They want to cause a disturbance because that's what they do. Uh, that's what the enemy infiltrates. And it comes in many ways, shapes, and forms. Do you want me to share another reel that's going to capture something? You want me to share another reel? I have a lot more short reels that I can share something where something appears and disappears. I have a lot of short reels in that nature that I make short reels because of what I catch with the footage when I go and investigate. All right. Good night, brother Dick Richards. I'm just gonna go till another like probably like another 15 minutes. Not unless somebody wants to jump on and share a story or an encounter, I'll let you do that too. Yeah, Sister Claire Porter. Tomorrow we have open mic night. Or Claire Porter, we have open mic night tomorrow. If you want to jump on and share, for anybody's here viewing, we have open mic night on Tuesdays and Thursdays here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, where I give you the platform and you can talk about whatever you've been through, whatever you experienced, whether it's spiritual, paranormal, cryptid, alien, whatever the case it is, right? So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do open mic nights. That's what we'll be doing later on tonight, since we're past the midnight hour. Okay, let's share some more of those videos. Let me find another one where something is there and disappears. Okay, here's one. Here's one that I'm going to share with y'all. You gotta pay very close attention to this one, brother and sisters. Let me see if this is a video first. Let's see, is that it? Here we go. There's a video. They appear and disappear in the blink of an eye in less than a couple of milliseconds. I'm walking, they appear and disappear. If you look up towards the clouds, you can see the portal up there. It's in the clouds. So I'm just letting it run regular speed, but they're everywhere. There's like four of them, 4 or 5 of them. They're black that appear on the screen and they disappear through the portal. So let's slow it down. There's nothing in the sky, nothing on the ground. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom. There's one here, probably like one here, one there, one over here. And you see there's no portal in the sky here at the time because it just appeared out of nowhere. So let's take it step by step. They're still there. Still there. The portal opens in the sky right here. There's one here, and of course, we had seen some already. So when this portal disappears, it's in the clouds. They're going to disappear. At the same time, the portal closes. It's open. It's open. It's open. There was one here, one here, one here. Still open. And boom. Disappear. Right there. Boom, disappear. The portal's gone, and their advanced party uh, of DDNs is gone, just like that. Boom, and they're gone. Good night, Sister Deborah. Let me see. Monica Davis. Have you seen any of them? Claire Porter. Here right now it is 01:51 in the morning. Okay, I'll stop sharing that one. See what else you would like me to share. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can find another one for y'all. Okay, let me see if I can find it for y'all. Here goes. There's one where it's it's using the environment to manifest and disappear. There we go. There it is. It's moving so fast that I had to lower the speed on the video, brother and sisters, just to be able to capture it because I seen a blur pass right beside me. So I lowered the speed of the video, and you could see, what people want to call a dogman or a manifestation of something that looks like a wolf or werewolf. This one's not that tall because it's around my height, and it stops right in front of me and it's looking at me, and then it takes off. But it's moving at a high rate of speed. It appears and disappears. Appears and disappears. There it is, right here. It's still there. There it is, the face. Boom. Yeah, but I'm just showing y'all, brothers and sisters, that these things that they're in disembodied form. They're not uh, he- here in the flesh, and they don't move like something that's here in the flesh or that's created in some kind of lab, because it's using the elements itself to manifest and take form. Uh, but it comes and goes out of our reality. Sometimes people say they're vibrating a different frequency. Uh, to me, it's because they're in disembodied form. They do not have a vessel or a body. Uh, yeah, it was there for no good. It probably wanted to attack me spiritually, but I was praying when that happened, because I could sense when they're around, so I'll pray in the name of, through Jesus Christ. Okay, we got about 4 minutes, so let me go to y'all. Well, I'm here. I want to say thank you to the viewers of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Uh, the best advice I can give to anybody that's viewing here right now. I get targeted daily. Whoever was here earlier, we got rid of a troll. Uh, I maintain my heavenly love for nature regardless of who's trying to come away. So we have to be careful not to give power to the enemy that's infiltrating. Right? I'm not doing the things that they're doing to keep them going. We take away the power by not believing in them or acknowledging them. That's how you overcome the unseen spiritual enemy. Don't give up any kind of power, a belief, fear. You take away that, because that's what they use when they're trying to infiltrate. Maintain your faith, relationship with Jesus Christ, and through Jesus Christ, we can overcome the unseen enemy, however it comes, even through infiltration, because we can type binary rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name and send it away. Yeah, I have one seller nemesis of something dealing like a lion. Let me find it for you. There's a couple of them that are like that. That looks like a lion. See, I can find it. Okay, here we go. Here goes. Here's the picture that I captured. It kind of looks. I made a show a lot of it. Okay, you're gonna see it right there. Let me know when you see it. There's the face. So I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is take a screenshot off of that of my, and I'm gonna work on the picture to get a close up of it. Okay, I took a screenshot of it. So let me work on the picture so I can show you a close up of what's there. And I'll run play. Okay, here we go. I'm going to stop sharing that real quick. So here we go. Let me show y'all the images of them. Okay, here we go. Boom. There they are. There's the face on this one, the body. There's another one over here. Several here. It looks like a DDN in Dogman form over here, but they're everywhere around me. So there you go. That'll be my picture I'm sharing with y'all for the end of the show here. Tell me what you think about this picture. Tell me what you see. Because even within the picture, you can see skulls in the bottom of the picture. Uh, but yes, there's several in this picture. So what do y'all think about this photo? There we go. Yeah, I could get a little bit closer if you want to see them close. Let me do a close up of them. All right, here we go. Let me share these other two photos. Okay, here we go. Let's take a closer look at them. Share that one for a little bit, and we'll go to the other one. Yes, yes, Sister Claire. A lot of skulls in the main photo. You got that big one right there. You can see the face and everything, how it looks. You want to? I can show its face, like do a close up of the face. Also, let me do that. Show a close up of the face. Here you go. A close up of the face. Okay. And here's the other ones. This one is right here. There's the one with the skulls. Of course, there's the original picture. Skulls everywhere. Skulls, 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 skulls. Everywhere on the picture. There we go. There you go, folks. Had to finish out with a bang. So, what do y'all think about this photo that I just shared? Yeah, I always capture a lot of things. That's besides the point of the EVPs that I got, where they're cussing at me, calling me all kinds of bad words, uh, threatening me, saying that they're coming for me. Let's get them now. Let's kill them. Telling me all kinds of vulgar language. I capture all that on the recordings when I debunk my video. I believe the skulls represent death. Maybe that area is is showing itself that it possibly could be a native Indian burial ground because there used to be a lot of natives. There used to, I believe, it's in Texas. So what I'm catching is the activity that's in the area. Uh, for some reason, they identify themselves to me, and I'm able to capture stuff on video. I just wanted to share with y'all. besides what I capture, there's a lot of activity going on when I'm out there investigating. Whether I'm hearing disembodied voices, I'm hearing whispers, I'm hearing somebody cough, somebody whistle. They have the abilities to mimic different sounds, uh, chime sounds, lawnmower sounds, weed eater sounds, drone sounds. They can mimic just about anything. So you have to be spiritual ready at all times and don't give them power of belief. Don't give them power of fear. Maintain your heavenly love foundation. I would suggest if you ever decide to go do an investigation, stay prayed up before, during, and after. After, so you won't, so nothing could follow you home. If you have a negative attachment on you, say you're not welcome to attach to me. I take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. Type under and be Jesus Christ's name, leave. Sometimes they want to catch a free ride, being attached to you, in which if they're attached to you, then they can go into your home because uninvited because they're on you. So it's an involuntary way of making a way into your home without you knowing it. Any questions for me of what I'm speaking about? You want to see a skull one? I can share the skull capture that I got. I'm thinking I'm gonna created a show reel out of it. I'm not sure. Let me see if I even created a show reel out of it. Um, I don't think I have a show reel of it, of the skull one. Literally, I captured. Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to remember if I made a picture of the skull character of what I captured in Elms Grove. I'm looking for it right now. I don't think I got it, but I can send a photo, share with y'all. There we go. I sent it, brothers and sisters. So this picture that I'm going to share with you happened in Elms Grove. The day after we save a man's life from being trapped in his vehicle in a Mustang, he was underwater because the creek erosion and swept him away. He was underwater. He could barely. It was he was drowning, but we picked up the vehicle and we moved it up to higher ground. We used the tires as a floating device and was able to carry the car upward to get him out of the water. So this is what I captured the day after, because whatever it was pissed off because we saved his life. I went back to the park and I was taking pictures of the damage that was done in the park. Like the both sides of the park were damaged. Mobile homes were underwater. Cars were underwater, but we saved the man's life. So here's a picture. Here we go. Let me share it with y'all. Oh man, come on. Don't do me like that. What's going on here? Jiminy Crickets. Okay. It made my photo real small for some reason. Let me work on that photo. Don't want to be exposed. All right. Worked on the picture real quick. So here we go. Let's try this again. One more time. Here we go. When you think about this picture, you're gonna think of a reaper, of a death. You'll see why. Are y'all ready for it? Here we go. Let's see if it shows up this time. Oh man, what's going on here? This is definitely acting strange. It booting me off of Facebook. I guess something doesn't want to show itself here. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. Here we go. Let's see what it gives me. There we go. Tell me what you see, brothers and sisters. Tell me what you see. It's a little bit closer right there. It's the image. A little bit. Oh, he did it to me. What's going on here? There it is. There's a little close up of it. What do you think about that one? So what I'm going to do here on this photo, what I'm going to do on this photo is take a close up look at the face, so you could literally tell that it's a skull. Here you go. Let's see. I think maybe that one. It was this one that captures it pretty good, right there. Skull face. Reaper. Death. It was pissed because I was walking by the swing set, and I see it sending native style in between the swing, and he's breathing is going like this. So I ignore it and get my camera ready, and I turn around and I take a picture. When I take the picture, it disappears, but I was able to capture how it looked. So what do y'all think about that? I can do one more close up of the face. Let's do that. One more close up of the face to get a real good look at it. So here we go. See which one shows it bigger. There we go. How you doing, Lisa Foy? Okay. So there you go. We'll finish it up with a bang. I just want to say thank you for those that came to tune in to to join the life and support spiritual encrypted encounters just by being here. I want to say thank you for those that uh, to Sister Brenda for jumping in with Cousin Jesse for a little bit this evening, sharing her testimony. Cousin Jesse for being here as a co-host, and for all the people that come and are active within the chat. Thank you for tuning in to hearing Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. To all the people that hit the subscribe button uh, or the likes, appreciate it. Right now, I'm struggling with allergies. I'm waiting for my allergy medicine to come in through the mail. I haven't received it, so the allergies are getting the best of me right now. So my eyes are a little bit, they're burning a little. My voice keeps on going in and out, but I'm hanging in there. In saying that, good night, everybody. God bless y'all. I always maintain a Heavenly Love Foundation, regardless of the situation, uh, because that's the way to be. Heavenly Love Foundation with forgiveness, because it makes our heart that much pure, strong, to be able to have a relationship with the Heavenly Father, with Jesus Christ. He led by example, and we follow suit of how he led. One of the main key things is to maintain the love foundation, a heavenly love foundation, which is different than fake loves or what people think they're loves, especially if they're going against the commandments. I'm talking about a heavenly love foundation, a relationship you have with Jesus Christ. In saying that, how you doing? Was walks with Bear? Thank you, thank you, thank you all. Appreciate you all. God bless you all. Good night. Hasta la vista. Buenas noches. Buenas mañanas. Guten Morgen. Uh, buenos días. Good night, everybody.